Chapter 26:12. Of course, there was a purpose for Su Yun to warn Tao Yinan today. In the face of a strong opponent whom he knew nothing about, Su Yun would not be so stupid to act rashly. Moreover, his current opponent was not only the Tao family, but also the other 5 great families. If this matter could incite internal strife within the 6 great families, then Su Yun wouldn't need to waste too much energy and time on this matter. The best way to deal with the enemy within the enemy's group was probably to see how Tao Yinan wanted to deal with this matter. If Tao Yinan could think clearly about the stakes and was a smart person, she would not throw herself into the limelight. Even if the matter about the Jiang family was exposed, Zhualangyue had already been alerted. This was probably something that no one in the 6 families had thought of, and it could also fully test whether the relationship between the 6 families was real or fake. After Su Yun left, Tao Yinan kept asking herself over and over again, why did she want to exterminate the Jiang family so ruthlessly? Of course, it was to maximize the benefits of the Tao family. If it were not for the benefits of the Tao family, she would be crazy to come all the way to Huaxia to deal with this tricky matter. This was not only a matter of taking risks, but also a matter of losing more than gain. Not only could she not bring benefits to the Tao family, but she would also get into trouble. Then it would really be a meaningless trip. Tao Yinan was very clear that the person who came just now was advising her to tuck her tail between her legs and get out of Huaxia. If she were to accept this advice, it would be a perfect thing for all of them. But how could Tao Yinan explain it to her family? She had no chance to explain at all, because the people in her family would not believe her. No matter what, Zhualangyue had not stood out to express her attitude publicly. Therefore, no one would ask to give up the action of exterminating the Jiang family because of this. However, the current situation was just as Su Yun had said. All the spearheads were focused on her. The Tao family was the instigator of this matter, and once she offended Zhualangyue, the Tao family was very likely to push her out. In the eyes of many people, the life of a big clan was so beautiful, but no one knew what the internal struggles of a big clan were like. Even brothers and sisters in an ordinary family would fight over the inheritance left behind by their parents. What about the big clans? The things that they would be fighting over would not be small. As long as they fought for a little bit more, they would be rich enough to rival a country. Who could resist such a temptation? Obviously, no one could resist this temptation. Tao Yinan was like this, and so were her brothers and sisters. Tao Yinan had always been outstanding in the Tao family since she was young. Unfortunately, she was a girl, so her elder brother and 2 younger brothers didn't treat her well. The only reason was that she was too outstanding and could handle some things better than them. This meant that the family valued her highly. Tao Yinan's position in the Tao family was obviously higher than her elder sister and younger sister. Among the 6 members of the Tao family, Tao Yinan was the most capable. Even the eldest son of the Tao family, who was also Tao Yinan's elder brother, Tao Zhu, was inferior to her in all aspects. Even though Tao Zhu didn't express some things, everyone knew the resentment in Tao Zhu's heart. This was because Tao Zhu was already very outstanding in all aspects, and his outstanding personal ability had also established his own capital in front of the previous generation. If it wasn't for Tao Yinan, he would probably be more outstanding in the eyes of his father's generation. In that case, he would be able to obtain more authority. However, Tao Yinan's excellence caused him to miss out on more than half of the delicious soup. It was impossible to say that Tao Zhu wasn't sick of Tao Yinan. It was precisely because Tao Zhu was sick of Tao Yinan that he planned this matter and let Tao Yinan do what she was doing now. Even if it was successful and Tao Yinan received praise from her father's generation, she still wouldn't be able to escape the wrath of the Empress. Tao Zhu was very clear that once the Empress and the Tao family fell out, his father would rather sacrifice Tao Yinan than go against the Empress. Everyone was well aware of how high the Empress's prestige was. When the time came, it was absolutely impossible for the other 5 great clans to stand by the Tao family's side. They would most likely face it with the mentality of watching a show. If the Empress abolished the Tao family, the other 5 great clans would be the ultimate beneficiaries. Who would go against the interests of the other 5 great clans? Obviously, absolutely no one would go against the interests of the other 5 great clans. When the time came, Tao Yinan would inevitably become the sacrificial lamb of the Tao family for the sake of the overall situation. This was a huge game of chess that Tao Zhu had set up. Smart people would definitely understand the meaning behind all this. Tao Yinan wasn't a fool and naturally saw through it. Unfortunately, seeing through it didn't mean that she could reject it. If she rejected the family's appointment, her status in the family would definitely plummet. Even if she had to brace herself, Tao Yinan had to shoulder this matter. Not only did she have to shoulder it, but she also had to do it perfectly. As long as this matter was done beautifully, her status in the entire family would rise to a new level. What did this mean? It meant that even Tao Zhu wouldn't be able to raise his head in front of her. Tao Yinan had really thought through this matter carefully. The reason why she was so cautious and careful was because she wanted to avoid everyone's attention and handle this matter quietly. As long as the Empress couldn't produce concrete evidence to prove that the Tao family did it, she didn't have to worry about being used as a sacrificial lamb by the Tao family. The difficulty of this matter was obviously huge, but Tao Yinan had to accept this challenge. If she won, she would win everything. If she lost, she would lose everything. To Tao Yinan, this was definitely a huge gamble. Before Su Yun came, she still had a chance of winning. She was still certain that what she did was flawless and no one would know. However, after Su Yun came and the two of them exchanged a few simple words, Tao Yinan knew that she had no trump cards left. In this huge gamble, all the trump cards in her hands had been seen by the other party. What chance did she have of winning? Once all her cards were revealed, Tao Yinan would most likely lose miserably. It wasn't that she didn't dare to lose, but that she really couldn't afford to lose this huge gamble. Faced with such a desperate situation, Tao Yinan wouldn't foolishly walk into the dark. She wasn't a fool, and she knew very well that she had to save herself now. When a person was faced with a desperate situation, no one would extend a helping hand. In order to get out of this situation, other than saving herself, Tao Yinan had no other way. At this moment, she wasn't even in the mood to taste the red wine. Faced with the 1787 Chateau Lafite that she had always dreamed of, Tao Yinan actually took it directly, put the wine bottle to her mouth, and raised her head without hesitation. The remaining half of the bottle of red wine was poured down Tao Yinan's throat without any careful tasting or smelling. Compared to Su Yun's drinking method just now, this was probably a real reckless waste of God's gift. Tao Yinan finished half of the bottle of red wine, but her heart still couldn't calm down. What should she do? Tao Yinan, who was in a dilemma, didn't know what to do at this moment. On this big chessboard, whoever could save themselves would be able to protect everything. The damn family infighting. The most disgusting thing for Tao Yinan was happening in front of her again, but what could she do? What else could she do except to meet and face these challenges one after another? Who told her to be born in the Tao family? In such a big family, how could there be no infighting? How could there be no disputes? If she had the chance to choose in her next life, Tao Yinan would definitely choose to reincarnate in an ordinary family without hesitation. She really had enough of this kind of dispute, really. Chapter 26:13. When Su Yun came out, the others were very surprised. They felt that it was a little too fast. "Brother, isn't this a little too fast?" Lin Gu said. "It's done? You've confirmed the young woman's identity? It's done?" "Yeah, how did you come out so quickly?" Jin Hong was also puzzled. He was very sure that the woman was Tao Yinan, which was why he was surprised that Su Yun came out so quickly. "If you don't come out early, are you going to spend the night in her room?" Su Yun said. "I'm not interested in this kind of young woman." Lin Gu chuckled. "You don't say, she looks very young." Jin Hong said that she's 36 years old, but I can't believe it. No matter how I look at her, she looks 26 years old. She's quite interesting. I like this kind of person. Jin Hong laughed dryly. To be honest, he also felt that Tao Yinan was still the same as 10 years ago. There were no traces of age at all. Women really needed to take care of themselves. "You came out so quickly. It must have been very smooth." Jie returned to the topic. Su Yun nodded. "It was quite smooth. At least she didn't close the door on me. She even treated me to steak and red wine. That bottle of 1787 Chateau Lafite. Jin Hong's eyes widened. How was that possible? Su Yun didn't look like he was joking at all. An expert was an expert. He could settle anything. Su Yun shrugged. Of course. I really don't have the mood to taste other wines. But then again, no matter how good the wine is, it's just so. It's not very interesting. Brother, you're obviously showing off to the three of us. We don't even have any saliva here, Lin Gu said. No matter what, Tao Yinan's identity is confirmed. She is indeed looking for trouble with Jiang Zixue, Su Yun, but so far, I should have calmed her down. At least now she has some scruples in her heart. Jin Hong was struggling mentally. His enemy was here, but he couldn't act rashly. Jin Hong was even clearer than Su Yun about the strength of the Tao family and the 6 great clans, so he knew that Su Yun's actions were rational. It's obviously very difficult to do some things now, Su Yun said. But there's no other way. Some things have to be resolved. What should we do to resolve this? Jin Hong asked. Su Yun shook his head. When Tao Yinan still has some scruples, she will definitely make some changes. I can see that she doesn't want to be the first one to stand out. So she'll stop. No. I'm afraid they won't stop. Since the 6 great clans have already decided, someone will definitely complete this matter, Su Yun said. But Tao Yinan doesn't want to become the target. Jin Hong frowned. You mean to say that she will shift the blame to someone else? I'm afraid it'll be difficult for her to shirk the responsibility, but she'll definitely find someone else to share the burden. Su Yun said, my appearance made it clear to her that her whereabouts have been exposed, so she definitely won't be able to shirk the responsibility. She can only make it bigger. Won't that be even more disadvantageous for us? Jie Yi said. We're already very cautious about dealing with the Tao family. There's nothing to be cautious about. Su Yun said, if we really want to deal with the Tao family, I really don't care. Even if I make it clear that I want to go against the Tao family, what can they do to me? Su Yun still had this bit of arrogance. If Su Yun went to the Russian Empire, it was possible that he would have some scruples. But in Huaxia, Su Yun really didn't have so many scruples. Then, what do you mean? Jin Hong was very curious. If we deal with the Tao family now, the 6 great clans will band together. Su Yun said, you've all heard the story of chopsticks. A chopstick is easy to break, but a pair of chopsticks isn't so easy to break. The 3 of them looked at Su Yun thoughtfully. In Su Yun's eyes, the 6 great clans were like a pair of chopsticks. Indeed, it wasn't easy to break them. But if they broke them one by one, Su Yun really wouldn't care too much. At most, he would just fight. I understand, brother. What you mean is that you want the 6 great clans to have internal conflicts first, Lin Gu said. When the chopsticks are scattered, breaking them one by one will be much easier. Su Yun nodded. That's right. If I touch the Tao family, the 6 great clans will definitely band together. What if I don't touch the Tao family? Tao Yinan will do something to protect herself, Jin Hong said. That's right. In order to protect herself, Tao Yinan will drag the other great clans down with her. At that time, they will all have some scruples, and there will be a situation where they don't get along, Su Yun said. Then, we'll strike at that time and break them one by one, Lin Gu said. That's definitely a good idea. Su Yun smiled faintly. Not allowing the 6 great clans to band together is our best option right now. Now, I finally understand why Little Mother chose to disappear in this matter. It's because she was very clear that if she stood out and made a decision, it would definitely cause the 6 great clans to unite. That would be very difficult for her. The more this was the case, the more each of the 6 great clans had their own ulterior motives. Everyone was thinking about their own interests, so they wouldn't think things through so thoroughly. This was obviously very normal. If the 6 great clans didn't think about their own interests, then there wouldn't have been a situation where they attacked the Jiang family together. Can you confirm that the 6 great clans don't get along on the surface? Jesu asked. Su Yun smiled. If they really do get along on the surface, then the Tao family won't be the only one doing things at a time like this. Jin Hong nodded as well. Now, I'm afraid everyone is thinking about how to divide up the Zhang family's resources. This is what they need the most. I believe that Tao Yinan isn't a fool. She'll definitely understand. Su Yun said, her disruption will cause the 6 great clans to fall into complete chaos. Although we can't guarantee that we'll just sit back and reap the benefits, we can at least guarantee that no one will dare to touch Jiang Zixue so easily. This was the most basic requirement of the entire situation. Jiang Zixue's safety was Su Yun's priority. Under the circumstances of Jiang Zixue's safety, Su Yun didn't want to do anything else. If he wanted to help the Jiang family regroup, it was probably not something he could do alone. Unless Jin Hong could think things through, find his identity again, and let Jiang Zixue know the truth about his identity. Only under such circumstances would the Jiang family have the possibility of making a comeback. If Jin Hong didn't want to ask too much about the Jiang family's matters and didn't want to find his identity as a member of the Jiang family, it was almost impossible for the Jiang family to make a comeback with just Jiang Zixue's strength. Sometimes, the men in the family were still very important. This was also why when it came to offending the Empress, the Tao family would rather choose the capable Tao Yinan than let the men of the Tao family step in. Jin Hong didn't think too much about the future. Since he didn't want to talk about it, Su Yun naturally wouldn't ask too much. Everything had to be done according to his own heart. Only then would he not regret the decision he made. Jin Hong, don't worry, I will definitely guarantee Jiang Zixue's safety, Su Yun said. As long as I, Su Yun, am around, the Tao family won't be able to touch her. Jin Hong nodded. I want to stay here and keep an eye on Tao Yinan. I don't know what she will do, and I don't have any confidence at all. Of course, even if you didn't make this request, I would still arrange for you to stay here. Su Yun said, you more or less have some impression of the people from the 6 great families. If she meets anyone here, I believe you will definitely be able to recognize them. Jin Hong nodded. Although my impression of them is a little vague, I might still have an impression if I meet them. Then I will leave this place to you. Su Yun said, Tao Yinan will definitely use all sorts of reasons to find Hua Xia for the people from the other great families. Don't worry, she won't let you down. Jin Hong nodded. In his eyes, the 6 great families were already his enemies. It was impossible for him to have any sympathy for his enemies. Jie Su asked, do you need me here? Yes. Su Yun nodded. In that case, you will stay here and help him. Jie Su nodded. Jiang Zixue is staying at my place now. You can totally rest assured. Su Yun said, Pigeon and I will definitely guarantee her safety. If Tao Yinan doesn't act according to common sense, I will also make extra preparations. I will really have to trouble you. Jin Hong was very grateful. Chapter 26:14. Tao Yinan didn't sleep well that night. She hadn't had insomnia for a long time, because insomnia would make a woman look bad. She didn't want to have insomnia, but there were some things that couldn't be controlled. Even though she drank a lot, her mind was still very clear, because she knew that this was her capital. When the sun shone through the thick curtains the next day, Tao Yinan realized that she hadn't slept for almost the whole night. Tao Ruhu and Tao Qiani didn't sleep at all. They rushed back to Qingdao without stopping, ready to accept Miss Tao's punishment. The first thing they did when they got back to the hotel was to go to Tao Yinan's room. At this moment, they were standing at the door of Tao Yinan's room. They didn't dare to disturb her because they didn't hear any sound from the room. They had already reflected deeply on the serious mistakes they had made. However, they could never understand why the car that had followed them out of the hotel would appear in Qingdao again. They stood at Tao Yinan's door, quietly waiting for some sound from the room, at least to let them know that Tao Yinan had woken up. After Tao Yinan got up, she went straight to the bathroom to take off her pajamas. She needed a cold shower to wake herself up. Everything that should have happened yesterday had already happened. Since the situation couldn't be changed, she had to change the trend of things. She needed to put herself in a safe position. After taking a shower, Tao Yinan called room service again. She didn't want to go out for the whole day. After she called, Tao Ruhu and Tao Tianyi dared to knock on the door. They vaguely heard the sound from inside and were sure that Tao Yinan had woken up. Tao Yinan was very conflicted when she heard the knock on the door. Yesterday, right after she had ordered the steak, Su Yun appeared and threatened her. Now that the knocking on the door was heard again, how could she not feel disgusted? Tao Yinan opened the door and saw the two of them. The serious expression on her face relaxed a little. Tao Ruhu and Tao Tianyi lowered their heads, not daring to look at Tao Yinan's eyes. "Come in," Tao Yinan said faintly, then turned around. After yesterday's incident, her resentment towards the two of them had basically disappeared. Tao Ruhu and Tao Tianyi cautiously walked into Tao Yinan's guest room. Tao Tianyi gently closed the door. After that, he and Tao Ruhu walked behind Tao Yinan and carefully knelt down. They didn't know what they should do to get Miss Tao's forgiveness. When Tao Yinan heard the sound, she turned her head and saw that the two of them had already knelt down. There was no resentment in her heart. "All right, get up." When the two of them heard this, they couldn't believe their ears. They were simply overwhelmed by the favor. "Have you two eaten yet?" Tao Yinan asked. The two of them shook their heads. Tao Ruhu said, "We've been waiting at the door ever since we came back. We didn't hear any sounds from the room just now, so we thought you hadn't woken up yet, so you must be hungry." Tao Yinan said faintly, "I just ordered something to eat. I'll order some more for you." Tao Yinan didn't ask if the two of them wanted to eat. She called the room service again. "I just ordered some food. A friend came, so I want more. 2 more servings of shark fin soup, sea cucumber rice, cloud sea urchin soup, pizza, and sandwich. Remember, 2 servings each." After Tao Yinan finished speaking, she hung up the phone. Tao Ruhu and Tao Tianyi instantly felt like they had entered a trap. They were really afraid that this was Miss Tao's last breakfast for them. "Miss Tao, we know we were wrong. This is our mistake, but we really didn't expect this to happen." Tao Tianyi said, "We've been following Jiang Zishue's Ferrari, but her car was too fast. We couldn't keep up at all. So when we reached Yanjing, we lost her. We've been trying very hard to find her in Yanjing." Tao Yinan only nodded. She didn't have any intention of blaming them. However, the more Tao Yinan was like this, the more uneasy Tao Ruhu and Tao Tianyi felt. They were really afraid. Tao Yinan's calmness made them worry that something even more terrifying would happen. "Miss Tao, please give us another chance. We really did our best," Tao Ruhu also explained. "I didn't say anything," Tao Yinan said. "I know you did your best. I also know that you were just tricked. You don't have to be so scared in front of me. I was angry yesterday because I didn't know what happened. Now that I know, I won't blame you." The two were stunned. They didn't know what Tao Yinan was saying that she knew. "I know very well now. You two did your best," Tao Yinan said, "so I can give you enough affirmation. I even ordered food for you. Everyone can have a meal together. There's nothing to be afraid of." "Miss Tao, you said you knew. What do you mean?" Tao Ruhu said, "I've already seen the person who tricked you." Tao Yinan said, "He's a very shrewd person. He's also very meticulous and has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. So it's not strange that you were tricked. He was the one who drove you to Yanjing." The two of them sucked in a breath of cold air. Someone actually found Tao Yinan when the two of them were leaving. After Tao Yinan came to Qingdao, she rarely left the hotel because she didn't want to expose her identity. Now Tao Yinan's identity was exposed? Wouldn't that be throwing the Tao family onto a platform in the open? If Tao Yinan's identity was exposed, it would definitely be a very dangerous thing for the two of them. "Don't look at me like that. I also know that we're in a very dangerous situation now." Tao Yinan said, "I also don't wish for us to encounter any trouble. But since it has already happened, we have no other choice. If we want to protect ourselves, we have to keep a clear head." Tao Ruhu and Tao Qiani looked at each other. Miss Tao, who is the other party? Is he the Empress's man? I'm not sure about this, but he's definitely related to the Empress. Tao Yinan said, so we can't continue to do stupid things. The two of them suddenly understood. No wonder Miss Tao had suddenly changed. It was because she had already made her decision. Most importantly, this decision was beneficial to them. They didn't need to continue to be the first ones to stick their heads out. When the Empress's scope was already aimed at them, if they still stuck their heads out, it would simply be too stupid. Tao Yinan took a deep breath. I need the two of you to help me. Of course, this is also to help yourselves. Only by trusting each other can we get through this difficult time together. Miss Tao, we will definitely do whatever you want us to do. Tao Ruhu said. Our lives are yours, so we'll leave it to you to arrange. I can't give you any guarantees. Tao Yinan said, because I don't have any guarantees myself. We can only do our best to fight for it and drag the other 5 families into this muddy water. Only then can we no longer be the focus. Tao Qiani nervously asked, then what should we do? Use your brains and think of a solution with me. Tao Yinan said, don't ask me about everything because I'm also having a headache now. The room service arrived. Tao Yinan let herself relax and heaved a sigh of relief. Let's eat first. After eating, we will discuss how to solve this problem. I believe that the two of you won't let me down. Tao Ruhu and Tao Qiani were now forced into a desperate situation. Who could say for sure what was going on now? I believe in the two of you, but you have to believe in me too. Tao Yinan said, we will be fine. Chapter 26:15. Tao Ruhu and Tao Qiani had no other choice but to listen to Tao Yinan's arrangements. They were betting everything on Tao Yinan. As long as Tao Yinan could successfully avoid this calamity, they would follow her to glory and riches. If Tao Yinan couldn't survive, they would become cannon fodder. Miss Tao, do you need me to help you investigate the other party? Tao Ruhu said. He dared to come to us. We can't just ignore him like this, right? Tao Yinan lowered her head and said, I think it's best if you don't act rashly. The other party isn't someone to be trifled with. But we're not to be trifled with either, Tao Qiani said. If the Tao family tolerates this, I'm afraid the other party will take advantage of us and become even more unscrupulous. Tao Yinan had also considered this problem, but Su Yun's words about how a powerful dragon could not suppress a snake in its old haunts kept ringing in her ears. Miss Tao, sometimes we have to respond. Otherwise, the other party really won't take our Tao family seriously, Tao Ruhu said. At the very least, we can't let him look down on us and think that there's no one in our Tao family. Then what do you want to do? Tao Yinan asked. Of course we're going to show him who's boss, Tao Ruhu said. Tao Qiani said, they were the ones who provoked us first, so we must return the favor. Tonight, the two of us will sneak over. Tao Yinan glanced at Tao Qiani. Right now, I only know that the other party is Su Yun from Sky Entertainment Group. I don't know anything else. As the saying goes, only by knowing yourself and your enemy can you win 100 battles. Tao Yinan was very clear about this simple principle, but they didn't know anything about Su Yun and had no confidence. We don't even know who's behind him, Tao Yinan said. She didn't think it was appropriate to act rashly like this. Miss Tao, if we don't take the initiative to investigate this matter, then we'll never be able to figure out how many things we don't know, Tao Ruhu said. The other party won't take the initiative to tell us about his situation. That being said, there was still a risk. What Tao Yinan was worried about was that if something happened to the two of them on Guqin Island, she would be all alone and helpless. What's the situation? We'll try our best to arrange for people to find out. You guys shouldn't take the risk, Tao Yinan said. After all, we don't have the chance to rashly make mistakes now. The two of them roughly understood the real reason behind Tao Yinan's worries, so they didn't force it. I need you to help me contact Uncle De of the 7-Star Radiance Council. We need him to help us contact the people in charge of the other families in Huaxia. Tao Yinan said, if we want to protect ourselves, we have to drag the other families down with us. Tao Ruhu nodded. Then I'll go to Shenzhen to look for Uncle De immediately. Yes, we have to force him to do it face to face. Otherwise, he will definitely find a reason to refuse. Tao Yinan said, this old fox knows this very well. Tao Ruhu didn't plan to sleep anymore. This matter had to be settled. Tao Ruhu said to Tao Qiani, stay behind and protect Miss Tao. Leave those matters to me. Tao Qiani nodded. Then be careful on the road. He had been driving for the second half of the journey back from Yanjing. Tao Ruhu had more or less gotten some time to rest. It was indeed more appropriate for him to be on the road now. There was no time to lose. Tao Ruhu didn't have time to waste. After he was on the road, Tao Yinan said to Tao Qiani, right now, you have to completely stop tracking and investigating Jiang Zishui. Find a way to find those people who helped you in this matter and send them away. Understood. Tao Qiani said. I don't want these people to appear in front of me again. Tao Yinan said. Tao Qiani narrowed his eyes. Then I'll just directly. No. Tao Yinan said, right now, what we need to do on Qingdao is to keep a low profile. We can't cause too much of a commotion. If we get into trouble because of this, then the gains won't make up for the losses. I understand. Tao Qiani said, I won't cause too much of a commotion, and I won't let those people appear in front of you again. Tao Yinan nodded. Everything will wait until the people from the other families meet up before we make new arrangements. If there's a need, we can even directly invite Su Yun over. Looking at Tao Yinan's expression, it seemed like she already had her own ideas. Tao Qiani was very pleased with this. After Tao Ruhu left Tao Yinan's room, he was targeted by Jie Su. Because this guy left in a hurry, Jie Su didn't have time to report to Su Yun. It was only when Jie Su drove the guy onto the highway and drove directly in the direction of Shenzhen that he realized this guy was going on a long trip. He had no choice but to quickly inform Su Yun of this news. Su Yun wasn't too surprised when he received Jie Su's notice. Now that Tao Yinan was arranging for someone to call for reinforcements, she would definitely make a big move. Is there any place where the 7 great families gather in Shenzhen? Su Yun hung up the phone and quickly rushed over to meet Jin Hong. Jin Hong thought for a moment. If it's Shenzhen, then it can only be the 7 big families' board of directors. Every year, the 7 big families will meet in Shenzhen for a meeting, and the board of directors is the intermediary between the 7 big families. Intermediary? Su Yun didn't understand. The 7 big families seem to have close ties with each other, but that's not the case, Jin Hong said. The 7 big families don't usually have much contact with each other. If there's anything urgent that needs to be contacted, they will go to the board of directors and ask the intermediary, Uncle Da, to help them inform them of the time and place of the meeting. Su Yun nodded and understood. It seems like Tao Yinan is moving faster than I thought. You mean she's already prepared to seek help from the other families? Jin Hong was stunned. Then won't we be in trouble? That's the result we want. Su Yun, it seems like danger is everywhere, but it's actually much safer. The more families are involved in this matter, the safer Jiang Zishui will be. Jin Hong still looked worried, and she really couldn't help but worry about him. Don't worry. Everyone wants someone else to take the blame. So, the more people there are, the less likely it is that someone will step forward to do it. Su Yun said, there will also be more suspicion between each other. Jin Hong nodded. I hope so. You really have to be careful these few days. Su Yun, you must not let Tao Yinan know of your existence. Otherwise, she might change her mind. Jin Hong nodded. Don't worry, I'll take care of myself. I believe you have the ability and strength. Su Yun, maybe Tao Yinan's people will investigate me today. You don't have to worry about this. I'm prepared. Jin Hong knew that Su Yun had already planned a strategy, so he let go of the worry in his heart. Don't worry, I'm here. Su Yun promised Jin Hong. I'll make the whole thing more interesting. Now, Su Yun had gradually cleared the clouds and saw the sun. He had begun to see the development of the whole thing clearly. Now, what Su Yun needed was time to play this big game of chess. Whether it was the people of the Tao family or the other 5 families, they were all chess pieces in Su Yun's eyes. If Su Yun could play this game beautifully, he might really be able to destroy the 6 families without any effort. Although the Zhang family didn't have a close relationship with Su Yun, Zuolang Yue said that he owed the Zhang family a favor. He, Jin Hong and Zhang Zishue were also friends. So, whether it was out of kindness or friendship, he had to help the Zhang family teach these ungrateful guys a lesson. Chapter 26:16. The founder of the 7-star Radiance was the Zhang family. Back then, the Zhang family had gathered the other 6 largest families in Huaxia. They were all big families in the world trade. Their goal was very simple, which was to monopolize the entire world trade business. The Zhang family had done it. Because they controlled the largest amount of resources, they had the highest authority among the 7 families. This authority did not make the Zhang family arrogant. Instead, the Zhang family used their own advantages to expand the 7-star Radiance, which stabilized their own position. Many things were fought for by themselves. Everything the Zhang family had was fought for by themselves. That was why they were envied by the other families, especially the Tao family. The 7-star Radiance's board of directors was established when the 7-star Radiance was established. The chairman of the board of directors was alternated between the Zhang family and the Tao family. The reason was simple. These 2 families were the largest and most powerful. That was why they had the qualifications to be the chairman of the board of directors. However, due to some conflicts, the 7-star Radiance changed. The Zhang family and the Tao family could no longer be the chairman of the board of directors. Instead, it was given to the weakest of the 7 families, the Zhou family, to arrange people. This could balance the relationships between all the families and alleviate the pressure on many sides. From then on, the board of directors was given to the Zhou family to manage. Even now, the Zhou family still arranged people to manage the board of directors. Although the Zhou family was now standing behind the other families, this was something that could not be helped. Even the Zhang family could not withstand the siege. The Zhou family, the weakest family, obviously did not dare to be rash. However, the people the Zhou family arranged in the board of directors were still fair. After a long time, the Zhou family understood that they had to rely on the Tao family to gain a stable foothold. It was not difficult for the Tao family to find Zhou De of the board of directors to arrange some simple things. Tao Yinan believed that Uncle De of the board of directors would definitely give her face. After all, Tao Ruhu was Tao Yinan's subordinate. The Zhou family was very clear about this, and so was Zhou De. Therefore, Tao Yinan used this point. The Zhou family would not reject the Tao family's request. Tao Ruhu rushed to Shenzhen as fast as he could and found the board of directors of the 7 families with ease. Zhou De, as usual, was handling some miscellaneous matters in the board of directors. Due to the recent purge of the Zhang family by the 6 great clans, there was almost nothing left to do in the council. Zhou De was also happy to be idle. After all, he was a man in his 50s. The yellow soil had already reached his chest, and he didn't have much to pursue in life. Right now, Zhou De's only pursuit was to live out his later years in peace. No matter what kind of trouble the 7-star Radiance would cause, as long as it didn't affect him, then everything would be fine. When Tao Ruhu appeared in front of Zhou De's heart was very conflicted. Everyone in the 7 great clans knew that these 2 experts were Tao Yinan's right-hand men, and Tao Yinan was definitely not someone easy to deal with. Everyone in the Zhou family knew what kind of person Tao Yinan was. It could even be said that no man in the Tao family could be compared to her. She was such a worrisome woman. So when Tao Ruhu came in front of Zhou De was very conflicted. But even though he was conflicted, he couldn't express it on his face. Uncle De, it seems like you've been quite free recently. Tao Ruhu was still polite to Zhou De. Did I disturb you by coming here at this time? How could that be? Of course not. Zhou De smiled. Why do you have time to come here? I don't visit a temple without a reason, Tao Ruhu said. Zhou De knew this was for sure. Come, I'll make you a cup of tea. The two of us can sit down and talk slowly. If there's anything you need me to do, I'll do my best. This matter can only be solved by Uncle De. Tao Ruhu didn't stand on ceremony with him. After Zhou De made tea and the two of them sat down, Tao Ruhu directly explained his purpose for coming. You've heard about the Zhong family's matter. Now, there are still some small matters that need to be dealt with, Tao Ruhu said. And this matter has been decided by drawing lots, and it still falls on the Tao family. Zhou De smiled. Of course, I've heard about this. What do you think about this matter? Tao Ruhu asked. I feel that this is the best thing to do. After all, the Tao family is the most powerful among all of our families. We will be more at ease if we leave the aftermath to the Tao family. Zhou De said, that's what everyone is thinking. Tao Ruhu said, but our Tao family doesn't think so. Ha ha ha. When it comes to splitting the benefits, everyone is fighting to get it. But no one is willing to clean up the mess. It's the Tao family that has to do it. Zhou De was stunned. He didn't know what Tao Ruhu was trying to say. This matter is more or less unfair, Tao Ruhu said. Tao Ruhu said, at the very least, I feel that the Tao family's contribution is much greater than the other families. Zhou De laughed dryly. Capable people do more work. Uncle De, it's true that capable people do more work. But it's also true that capable people do more work. Tao Ruhu said, but when everyone was sharing the spoils, the Tao family didn't get an extra share. Everyone got an equal share. Zhou De didn't say anything. He didn't know what the exact situation was, but it should be true. If the Tao family wanted to get an extra share of the spoils, they would definitely be opposed by the other 5 families. He would definitely be the first to know about this conflict. After all, his job as a council member was to deal with such matters. Uncle De, I don't know what you think. But regarding this matter, I just want to say that it's unfair, Tao Ruhu said. Zhou De laughed dryly. Yes, it's indeed a little unfair. But there's nothing we can do about it. After all, the Tao family's strength is in front of us. This is the Tao family's ability. It's true that the Tao family is capable, but our Miss Tao has encountered some trouble on Guqin Island. We need someone to step forward and help us, Tao Ruhu said. Uncle De, I really need your help with this matter. Zhou De was stunned. He had heard about the Tao family's mission to eliminate the root of the problem. Because this matter could offend Empress Xuelangyue, it was still a hot topic among the 6 great families. No one was willing to get involved in this matter. Everyone hoped that they could completely extricate themselves from this threat. He. Zhou De's expression was somewhat awkward. If even the Tao family can't resolve this matter, it's even more impossible for the other families to do anything. Why is it impossible? Tao Ruhu said. Actually, at times, it depends on everyone's strength. Zhou De was somewhat helpless. I know what you mean. You want me to help you gather people, but no one will be willing to do this. Uncle De, if I really only wanted you to convey this message, I wouldn't have wasted so much effort to come here, Tao Ruhu said. I know that no one will want to get involved in this matter. That's why I came to you. Zhou De's expression was somewhat ugly. He already had a rough idea of Tao Ruhu's true intentions. Faced with such a situation, Zhou De really didn't know what to do. He didn't dare to make such a decision, but the Tao family was standing in front of him. He also didn't dare to offend them. Therefore, this was the most uncomfortable point. Uncle De, I know that you have a way. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come to you. Tao Ruhu smiled. Our Miss Tao said that other than Uncle De, there's no one else more suitable for this matter. This was a straightforward coercion. Zhou De looked awkwardly at Tao Ruhu and sank into silence. Chapter 26:17. Tao Ruhu's gaze never left Zhou De. If he didn't get an answer, he definitely wouldn't give up. Uncle De, You should think about it carefully. The highest position you've reached in the Zhou family for so many years is the chairman of the board. That was with the support of the Tao family. Tao Ruhu smiled. If the Tao family didn't support you and give you the chance to sit in this position, anyone would be able to replace you. Don't you think so? I know the Tao family has treated me well. Zhou De laughed dryly. However, there were some things he really didn't know how to start. If he agreed, wouldn't he be betraying the Zhou family? Tao Ruhu said, the Tao family can raise you as high as they can make you fall. This is a very simple matter. Zhou De was already prepared for the threat. This was the Tao family's way of doing things, especially Tao Yinan's way of doing things. Her lackeys really relied on their masters. Zhou De didn't want to offend the Tao family, but he couldn't be a sinner. His silence quickly wore down Tao Ruhu's patience. Miss Tao told me to tell me when I came that Uncle De would definitely give her face, Tao Ruhu said. Now, it seems like Miss Tao was overthinking. Zhou De hurriedly said, please don't misunderstand. Of course, I can't ignore Miss Tao's face. I do respect Miss Tao a lot. Miss Tao definitely knows this. Tao Ruhu snorted. This is called respect? I really can't tell. Zhou De shook his head helplessly. There was no way to explain it clearly. Uncle De, since you're like this, I won't make things difficult for you, Tao Ruhu said. It's fine. After all, everyone has their own difficulties. I can understand. Zhou De raised his head and looked at Tao Ruhu in disbelief. Tao Ruhu's words left him in disbelief. Uncle De, I want to say that what I can understand is limited to what I can understand, Tao Ruhu said. After all, I'm someone who does things. I'll convey your attitude to Miss Tao. As for whether Miss Tao will understand, I can't guarantee. If Miss Tao is angry, Uncle De, you'll have to pray for yourself. Zhou Da's expression changed. How are you going to tell Miss Tao? Of course I'm telling you the truth. Your Uncle De isn't willing to help. Tao Ruhu said, although it can't be considered as adding insult to injury, it can also be called watching someone die without helping, right? I have no intention of leaving you to die, Zhou De said. Tao Ruhu smiled. But that's what I understand. Uncle De, you asked me to understand you, and I understand. That's what I understand. That's not what I meant. You can't understand it that way. Zhou De said, Tao Ruhu, if you do this, then it's the same as forcing me to my death. How I interpret it is my personal problem. No one else can influence it, Tao Ruhu said. Just like how you don't want to help, I won't influence your thoughts. Hearing this, Zhou De trembled with anger, but he couldn't come up with anything to refute. If you don't save him, then so be it. Perhaps Miss Tao can understand you, said Tao Ruhu. You're clearly trying to sow discord between us. Zhou De said, Tao Ruhu, if you do this, your scheme is too vicious. Tao Ruhu laughed. Uncle De, you're going overboard. I'm Miss Tao's man. Why would I sow discord between you and Miss Tao? That doesn't make sense. It's your Uncle De who doesn't save him. I'm just passing on the answer. Zhou De shook his head. It's not that I don't save him, but this matter is equivalent to dragging the other families down with me. So what if you drag him down with you? Don't tell me that our Tao clan deserves to stay in the water while the other 5 great clans can just stand by and watch? Tao Ruhu said, Uncle De, I've already said it. You can do whatever you want. After saying this, Tao Ruhu turned around and left. Zhou De frowned. Seeing Tao Ruhu really walk out, his heart leaped to his throat. If he really offended Miss Tao of the Tao family, would he have a good time? With Miss Tao's temper, he really didn't dare to offend her. The most important reason was that he received many benefits from Miss Tao every year. Other than him and Miss Tao, no one else knew about this. If he didn't help now, what would Miss Tao think? What would she think of him? Clearly, Zhou De didn't dare to think about what would happen. Miss Tao had given him too many benefits and taken care of him too much. That was why she was so confident in sending her subordinates here to look for him. If Tao Ruhu really left now, How would he, Zhou, live in the future? Tao Ruhu, wait. Zhou finally couldn't take it anymore. He stood up and stopped Tao Ruhu from leaving. I know I owe Miss Tao a favor. She needs me to help her. Even if it goes against my principles, I have to help her. A satisfied smile appeared on Tao Ruhu's face. Uncle De, I knew our Miss Tao didn't misjudge you. Zhou Da's expression was ugly. What do you want me to do? It's very simple. You just need to find a reason to gather the people in charge from the major families, Tao Ruhu said. Tao Ruhu said, you don't have to worry about the rest. We can handle it ourselves. Zhou De gritted his teeth. What reason should I use? Just say that the Tao family told you that Jiang Zixue has been dealt with. Now, we need everyone to discuss how to deal with the aftermath. Tao Ruhu said, I believe they'll immediately come to investigate once they hear about this. Zhou De swallowed a mouthful of saliva. What about the real situation? You don't know the real situation either. You're only in charge of notifying them. Even if they come here and find out that it's not like that, they can't do anything to you, Tao Ruhu said. Zhou De took a deep breath. Even so, as the person in charge of the board of directors, he couldn't escape his responsibility. Even so, it was better than being punished by Miss Tao. Moreover, the one who came this time was the aggressive Tao Ruhu. If Zhou De hadn't stood up to stop him, he might not have gone back to report. Instead, he might have given Zhou De death threat tonight. I understand what I should do, Zhou De said. Zhou De said, go back and tell Miss Tao to rest assured. I will definitely do as she says. Uncle De, I'm relieved to hear that, Tao Ruhu said. You don't need to feel any psychological pressure or burden. You just need to know that everything you did was to let nature take its course. You didn't do anything wrong. Zhou De nodded. In the first place, this matter should be shouldered by everyone together. Tao Ruhu smiled. The Tao family doesn't want them to do anything. They're just shouldering some responsibility. Other than a bitter smile, Zhou De couldn't have any other expression on his face. Don't think of this as a burden. Tao Ruhu really should go back this time. Uncle De, I'll leave you to it. I'll go back first. Zhou De was in a daze. Then I won't stay any longer. I'll send you off. Stay. Do what you should do, Tao Ruhu said. Take care. Zhou Da's entire state was very robotic. After completing what Miss Tao wanted him to do, Tao Ruhu relaxed. He smiled and left the 7-star Radiance Board of Directors. His footsteps were much lighter than before. Chapter 26:18. Jiesu drove with Tao Ruhu and took a big detour. When they returned to Qingdao, he immediately told Su Yun everything he knew. Everyone knew what Tao Ruhu's motive for going to the board of directors was. Jin Hong knew the board's function all too well. He looked very excited when he came out. It looks like he got a definite answer. Jiesu's initial judgment was definitely correct. When I first started to remember, the board of directors was held by the Zhou family. The Tao family has always taken good care of the Zhou family, Jin Hong said. Jiesu was even more straightforward. I don't think they're taking good care of them. At most, they're just keeping a dog in their yard. Their motive is to keep an eye on their own people. Jin Hong did not deny Jiesu's understanding. That was the Tao family's motive. There was nothing to explain. Now, the board of directors will definitely use their fastest speed to gather the people in charge of the other big families to Huaxia, Jin Hong said. When that happens, Tao Yinan's motive will be achieved. Su Yun smiled. Then let's just sit back and wait for the show. No matter what the final result is, it won't affect us. They'll be the ones unhappy in the end. As long as they're here, they'll have to step into this trap even if they don't want to, Linge said. There's no turning back now. Let's see how many people will fall for it. Jin Hong said, everyone will fall for it. The board of directors' gatherings are usually important matters. As long as the board of directors agrees to Tao Yinan's request, they'll definitely gather everyone for them. There's no need to doubt that. You're so confident. Lin Gu said, don't forget that you've left the Tao family for a long time. Maybe some things are no longer the same as 10 years ago. The board of directors has existed among the 7 big families of heptagram for over 100 years. There's obviously a reason for its existence, Jin Hong said. Su Yun also believed that the board of directors definitely had his strength and could definitely drag the people from the other great families into the water. However, after this incident, he believed that the board of directors' status and role in the families would be greatly reduced. It was not impossible for it to become worthless. Whether or not they could make the board of governors worthless would depend on their plan this time. Perhaps this time, it would completely change the structure of all the families, or perhaps it would completely make the 7-Star Radiance family organization disappear. These were all things that could not be explained clearly at the moment. No one could guarantee what would happen in the next second. At least for now, there was already a gap in the 7-Star Radiance. It was unknown whether this gap would rapidly expand like a crack in the glacier. Continue to pay attention to Tao Yinan. Su Yun said, we don't have to do anything about the rest. Let nature take its course. The others all nodded. Other than letting nature take its course, there was nothing else they could do. I'll take over for you today. You should have a good rest too, Lin Gu said to Jesu. Thank you for your hard work. It's nothing. Faker said, this small matter is nothing to me. I'll keep an eye on it myself. You have a girlfriend and I'm single. I don't need any rest. Don't do that. Single people need more time. Lin Gu said, I definitely can't run away if I have a girlfriend. You, who don't have one, need to hurry up. Don't stand on ceremony with me. Just do as Pigeon said. You really should rest. Su Yun said, I don't want anyone to collapse when I need help. Jesu did not refuse. Although he did not feel that he was that tired, he really did need to rest. He nodded and did not raise any other doubts. Jin Hong definitely could not leave the hotel. He had to know Tao Yinan's every move and who she met. Only then could he determine the development of the situation as soon as possible. Although the development of the situation did not have much to do with them, Jin Hong still could not let it go. Su Yun did not ask too much of him. Since he wanted to do this, he would let him do it. If it were Su Yun would not let it go either. Although Tao Yinan did not have a direct feud with Jin Hong, she was still one of the people who wiped out the Jiang family. Now, she was preparing to kill his half-sister. No one would be so magnanimous to let it go. You should rest too. Su Yun only said this to Jin Hong. Pigeon is here. He will help you share the burden. Don't worry. I can still hold on. Jin Hong said, I'm just keeping an eye on her. I'm not doing anything else that will waste my energy. I'll be fine. I'm very relieved, Su Yun said. After a short meeting, they quickly left. While they were keeping an eye on Tao Yinan, Su Yun was also being watched. Tao Tianyi did not listen to Tao Yinan's instructions. He still decided to take a risk. He wanted to secretly find out Su Yun's background. Once he found an opportunity to directly control him, it would be equivalent to solving a big problem. For Tao Tianyi, this was definitely the biggest contribution in his life. If he could help Miss Tao solve this problem, it could be said that he could directly reach the sky in one step. In a word, it would not be long before he would be promoted, get a raise, become a general manager, become a CEO, marry a beautiful woman, and reach the peak of his life. For this, Tao Tianyi was prepared to pay some price. But he believed in his caution. He would never let Su Yun find out about him. After waiting for more than 10 minutes at the entrance of Sky Entertainment Group, Tao Tianyi finally saw Su Yun's true face. Su Yun was not afraid at all. He arrogantly drove Jiang Zishue's red Porsche to the entrance of the group. This was mostly a declaration. He was declaring that in this area, he, Su Yun, was so arrogant. He was not afraid of anyone, even if it was the Tao family. After all, he had already personally come to Tao Yinan's door. What was there to be afraid of? He was not afraid of the Tao family at all. This was what he wanted to express. Tao Qian's heart was in a bad mood when he thought about how he had been played by this guy. He wanted to see what this guy was capable of. Maybe if he followed him closely, he could directly find Jiang Zixue. This was also a temptation for Tao Qian. If he caught the person first, then wouldn't the initiative be in their hands again? After Su Yun returned to the company, he took care of some things. After Ruan Qingshuang and Zhua Meiyan were done, they prepared to leave together. Su Yun. Zhua Meiyan suddenly said, "A friend of mine opened a new Western restaurant. He gave me a VIP card for 2. I think Qingshuang has been working too hard these days. You can take her there to eat something." Su Yun was stunned. Ruan Qingshuang was also a little surprised. She could have gone with Su Yun if it was for 2 people. "Qingshuang, it's not that I don't want to go. But I know it's not appropriate for me to go," Zhua Meiyan said. Now that Su Yun is home, his mind is on those messy things. He has no time to chat with you. "Aren't you the same?" Ruan Qingshuang said. Zhua Meiyan shook her head. "I'm not the same. If I go home, Miss Jiang will have more protection. If I eat with Su Yun, she will have less protection. Su Yun will definitely have scruples. He won't be happy eating." Ruan Qingshuang was speechless. "So it's better for the 2 of you to go. In this way, he will feel more at ease and won't worry about other things." Zhua Meiyan said, "Besides, I really hope he can relax. Only when he is alone with you can he let himself go. So it has to be you." Su Yun accepted Zhua Meiyan's kindness. "Thank you. Don't be so polite to me. Remember to take me to eat alone when you're in the mood. It doesn't have to be a Western restaurant. Even a food stall is fine." Zhua Meiyan waved her hand and quickly walked to her Mercedes-Benz. Chapter 26:19. Su Yun and Ruan Qingshuang didn't want to waste Zhua Meiyan's good intentions. They drove straight to the Western restaurant. The scale of the Western restaurant could be considered very high-end. The people eating there were also some sentimental little bourgeois men and women. Zhua Meiyan obviously got the highest VIP invitation card. After the waiter saw the invitation card, he knew that they were important friends of the boss. He immediately invited them to the VIP seats upstairs. To be able to have such a VIP card, one had to be a reputable person, and the intention of the boss to give the card to these friends was to let them taste the signature dishes here. The quantity wasn't important, but the delicacy and the variety. The secret grilled chicken wings, the delicious Italian cheese sausage platter. Just the appetizer completely opened Ruan Qingshuang's appetite. "I didn't expect the chicken wings here to be so delicious," Ruan Qingshuang said. "If there's time, I really have to ask Meiyan to come and try it together. The things she can bring out must be good," Su Yun said. To be honest, he was much more grateful to Zhua Meiyan than Ruan Qingshuang. He was sincere. The freshness of the black caviar and salmon also made Ruan Qingshuang praise. The cream of wild mushroom soup was also very delicious. It was really an authentic soup. The chef must not be simple. Ruan Qingshuang praised almost every dish. The green sauce chicken and mushroom basil noodles, and the traditional Italian handmade pizza could also trigger every cell of people's taste buds. The dishes that left the deepest impression on Ruan Qingshuang were the vanilla grilled codfish with yogurt and spicy clams and oysters. Su Yun preferred the Angus filet mignon, pan-fried foie gras with blueberry juice, Sicilian red wine braised lamb knee, and cheese white sauce baked Australian lobster. After the big meal, the papaya vanilla ice cream, tiramisu, mango pudding, and other small things would also give people a big surprise. "I'm serious. This is really the best Western food I've ever eaten," Ruan Qingshuang said. "Even many high-end Western restaurants in Beijing and Xinjiang can't compare to this. Looks like you've tasted a lot of good food. You're about to become a gourmet." Su Yun smiled. Ruan Qingshuang was no longer the Ruan Qingshuang of the past. As the president of Qianyu Group, she had to entertain a lot of clients. She had tasted almost all the high-end restaurants in the country. It could be said that she had been to more venues than Su Yun. "It's okay. Ruan Qingxuang hadn't felt so relaxed for a long time. It was more comfortable to eat with Su Yun. How can a small restaurant like Qingdao compare to the high-end restaurants in places like Yanjing and Shenzhen? Su Yun said, "Your evaluation of them is a bit too high." Ruan Qingxuang shook her head. "I don't think so. I really feel that way. Maybe it's because my mood is different when I eat, so I have a different feeling. It seems that my effect is quite powerful." Su Yun said, "Then what do you think is the best thing you've eaten?" "You won't believe me if I tell you." Ruan Qingxuang's tone suddenly became serious. Su Yun was stunned. What's there to not believe? Is it the fried noodles from a roadside stall? Or the small pancakes and skewers from the snack street? Wu Dalong pancakes? Ruan Qingxuang shook her head. "No, I don't eat these things. It's neither healthy nor hygienic." "Then what is it?" Su Yun said, "I really can't think of what your favorite thing to eat is." "Celery eel," Ruan Qingxuang said. Su Yun suddenly realized. When he first met Ruan Qingxuang asked him to be a chef. Guagua asked him to make a dish to try in front of her. He showed a little of his skills and made this dish. Now that he thought about what happened back then, he felt that it was both distant and very close. It seemed to be right in front of him, but it was also out of reach. "Do you remember now?" Ruan Qingxuang said. Su Yun nodded. How could he forget? "That's the best dish I've ever eaten." Ruan Qingxuang smiled. "Because I was at a dead end in Hadong at that time. If I was alone, I might not have been able to hold on. Unfortunately, there was a little burden by my side, so I had to hold on. Just when I couldn't hold on anymore, there was another person like you." Thinking of this, Ruan Qingxuang couldn't help but tear up. Maybe it was because she missed those good times, or maybe it was because she missed Guagua, or maybe it was because she remembered Su Yun's meticulous care for her. When all the reasons were mixed together, it would make people feel complicated. To be honest, Ruan Qingxuang didn't hate her current life and current situation, but she missed the last time in the medicinal cuisine house. That was the happiest time in her life. "Maybe you really need to be in a good mood when eating," Ruan Qingxuang said. "Before you made that dish, it seems that I haven't had a happy meal for many years. Every time." Because she was a little choked up, Ruan Qingxuang couldn't say anything. "Forget it, let's not talk about it," Ruan Qingxuang said. "Then the best soup you've ever had is the honey egg tea I made for you?" Su Yun tried to make Ruan Qingxuang happier. "Then you're too easy to raise. Honey egg tea is much easier to make than cream mushroom soup. Celery eel is also much easier to make than vanilla grilled codfish with yogurt." Ruan Qingxuang laughed. "I don't expect you to be able to make vanilla grilled codfish with yogurt. You can learn how to bake Australian lobster with cheese white sauce. Zhuo Meiyan likes Australian lobster." "What about you?" Su Yun. "I like it too. Chou Yun and Xiaoye also like it," Ruan Qingxuang said. "Then after we're done with this, let's go on a vacation together. We'll go to Western Australia and eat the freshest Australian lobster." Su Yun. Ruan Qingxuang was really looking forward to this. "Then it really depends on everyone's time. The most important thing is your time. Don't worry, it won't be a problem." Su Yun. "Also, other than Australian lobster, there's also king crab. I like that. I don't know if we can catch fresh ones there." "You're quite ambitious." "It's good enough if you can catch something edible." Ruan Qingxuang smiled. The two of them sat at the VIP seats by the window and talked cheerfully. Meanwhile, a silver car was parked at the roadside below the restaurant. The people in the car looked at the people eating happily through 2 layers of glass. Their stomachs seemed to be leaking air and kept growling. Tao Tianyi was really hungry. He hadn't eaten anything for the whole day. It didn't feel good. He also wanted to eat Australian lobster with white cheese sauce, but he had more important things to do than eating lobster. He couldn't be distracted. "Do you see the car below?" Su Yun didn't look back. Instead, he raised his glass and said to Ruan Qingxuang, "Silver." Ruan Qingxuang was just about to turn her head to look when Su Yun stopped her. Just look out of the corner of your eye. Ruan Qingxuang stopped and raised her glass to Su Yun. I see it. What's wrong? When we came out of the company, this car has been following us. Su Yun, I don't believe that someone would park a car in front of a restaurant for no reason. There must be a reason and purpose. Ruan Qingxuang was slightly surprised. You mean, the person in the car is? It's just a possibility. It seems that my popularity is still quite good. Su Yun, how many fans do you think I'll have if I become a celebrity? Can it exceed 1 million? You're still in the mood to joke. Aren't you afraid of what they'll do later? Ruan Qingxuang said. Su Yun smiled slightly. If I'm afraid of them, then I'm not Su Yun. Chapter 26-20. In the face of Su Yun's confidence, Ruan Qingxuang really had nothing to say. If he didn't have this confidence, then he wouldn't be her Su Yun. When we left the company, this car followed us. He has been very careful. Su Yun, maybe at this time, he didn't realize that he had been discovered. Just as Su Yun said, Tao Qianni really felt that he was being very careful. With the experience of being discovered and played for a fool last time, he used almost all the methods he could think of to cover up his stalking behavior. Unfortunately, even so, he still couldn't escape Su Yun's eyes. After all, Su Yun's pair of sharp eyes were exchanged for so many years of experience. How could he allow himself to be targeted so casually? Moreover, it was at such a dangerous moment. Then when we go home later, won't he also watch us go home? Ruan Qingxuang said, this is also because of Jiang Zishue's matter. Su Yun nodded. Now, except for the group of people who wanted to trouble Jiang Zishue, he really couldn't find a second person who wanted to be beaten up. Then, isn't Jiang Zishue in danger? We can't let him know the location of our house. Ruan Qingxuang said. Even if he knows, he can't do anything. Su Yun, with just them, if they dared to do something, they would have done it long ago. Why wait until now? Ruan Qingxuang frowned, but we still should be careful. After all, things are unpredictable. This makes sense. Su Yun smiled, then let's play with them for a while. Anyway, there is nothing to do now. We won't go home tonight. If we don't go home, where are we going? Ruan Qingxuang said. After watching Fast 7, we go to Fast 8. Su Yun, don't young people like this mode now? Fast and Furious 7 was a movie, while Fast and Furious 8 was a chain hotel. Obviously, it was in line with the current model of young people going to a hotel after watching a movie. Ruan Qingxuang didn't react at first, but after she figured it out, she immediately blushed. Su Yun actually said that he wanted to get a room after the movie. Ruan Qingxuang didn't even give her time to react. After realizing this, Ruan Qingxuang looked at the smile on Su Yun's face. It was really a bad smile. Are you serious? Ruan Qingxuang said, you're still in the mood to tease me at a time like this. I'm not joking. I'm serious. Su Yun said, let's go watch a movie and then stay at a hotel tonight. Ruan Qingxuang opened her mouth and didn't close it for a long time. Wasn't this teasing her? But, how are we going to tell our family? Ruan Qingxuang said. Zhua Meiyan only asked them to come out for a meal, but she didn't say that they could stay out for the night. We're being watched. Wouldn't we be asking for trouble if we go back now? Su Yun said, I'll call them and explain. Ruan Qingxuang let out a long breath. They were being watched, so they had no choice but to not go home. But why did Ruan Qingxuang feel so excited? Let's go. I think the guy downstairs has been waiting for too long. Su Yun said, let's go somewhere else. He'll be more patient. Ruan Qingxuang nodded and got up with her bag. The two left the Western restaurant, got in the car, and went directly to Yida Cinema. This was a cinema that Chanyu Group invested in and built. There were a total of 2 cinemas on Qingdao, one in the north and one in the south. As the bosses, it was naturally impossible for them to spend money to watch a movie. Moreover, they had invested in these movies, so they had seen many of them before they were released. Today, they didn't come just to show off. They also came to find a little fun that they had lost. Before they came, Su Yun called the person in charge here. The person in charge immediately arranged seats for them. Originally, he wanted to arrange a small VIP room for Su Yun and Zhua Meiyan. If he directly booked the whole theater, they would feel comfortable. However, Su Yun insisted on going to the largest theater because he liked the feeling of more people. Tao Qianni followed them all the way to the theater. He cursed in his heart. It seemed that he still wanted him to continue waiting. Seeing that someone came out to welcome Su Yun and Zhua Meiyan into the theater, Tao Qianni stopped the car and waited for a while before he decided to go in. At this time, the person in charge who sent Su Yun and Ruan Qingshuang into the theater had just breathed a sigh of relief. What movie were those two watching just now? I also watched their movie. Tao Qianni walked behind the person in charge and asked. The person in charge of the theater looked back. Who was this? Who are you? After all, Chairman Su and Chairman Ruan just went in. He was a little confused. Facing a stranger who suddenly asked him a question, the person in charge of the theater was obviously not used to it. Who am I? I am a consumer. After Tao Qianni finished speaking, he took out money. Buy tickets. I want to watch the movie that those two people were watching just now. The person in charge of the theater looked at the 200 yuan that Tao Qianni took out and frowned. No matter what, he was someone with an annual salary of a few 100,000 yuan. What did this grandson mean by giving him money directly? Go over there to buy tickets. I am not a ticket seller. The person in charge of the theater impatiently said, Understand? Over there, at the ticket window. At the same time, he cursed in his heart. He didn't even know the process of watching a movie and asked him, the person in charge of the theater, to buy tickets. Did you hear what I said? I said I want to watch the movie that those two people were watching just now. Tao Qianni said, I am going over there to buy tickets. How would I know what they are watching? Hurry up. Here is the money. The rest is the tip. Take me in. The person in charge of the theater stared at him. You know who I am here? Look at you. You are dressed like a leader. Tao Qianni said, I am looking for a leader like you. Other soldiers don't have the authority to take me in. Heh. I am really speechless. The person in charge of the theater said, You know that I am the leader here. Then, do you know who went in just now? That is my leader. Who are you? If you are an ordinary customer, go and buy tickets. You can choose what you want to watch. If you cause trouble for me, then get out immediately. Is this how you treat your customers? Tao Qianni was a little annoyed. The person in charge of the theater waved his hand and several security guards surrounded him. Then I really want to ask you, what is your intention? Why do you want to watch the movie that our leader is going to? This sentence really stunned Tao Qianni. Tao Qianni didn't want to alarm the people inside. That would expose his whereabouts. I just saw that those two people had high taste. The movie that they chose definitely wouldn't be bad. Tao Qianni said, Do you understand what I mean? Nonsense. Of course, their taste is high. All the movies that go into the theater are chosen by them. The person in charge of the theater said, Who are you? If you are like this, do you believe that I will call the police and let the police investigate you? If Tao Qianni wasn't thinking about the overall situation, he would have really slapped him. Okay, you are good. Tao Qianni pointed at the person in charge of the theater and said, You are good. With a service staff like you, your theater will close sooner or later. Whether I close or not has nothing to do with you. The person in charge of the theater said, There are so many people watching movies in Huaxia. You are not the only one. If you have the ability, don't enter the door of Yida Theater in the future. Tao Qianni didn't understand the market in Huaxia. He didn't know the popularity of the movie industry in Huaxia. He completely underestimated the other party's ability. Tao Qianni couldn't watch the movie and was scolded. He could only endure it and leave. The only thing he could do was to go out and continue to wait for the Ferrari over there until Su Yun and the others came out. Just thinking about it made Tao Qian's heart angry. What is this? It's really King unreliable. A Western meal had already made him wait for 1.5 hours. What about this movie? It should be more than 100 minutes. Another 2 hours passed. Chapter 26-21. After 2 hours, Tao Qian's patience was basically exhausted by Su Yun. When he finally saw the two figures again, Tao Qian only felt that his lungs were about to explode. Lu Zhou was eating Western food and picking up girls, but what about him? He was a single dog with a hungry stomach. Are we really going to the hotel? Ruan Qingshuang was still a little hesitant. Of course, I just called home and told them. Su Yun, I'll take you to an interesting place. I guarantee that the people who are following us will be mad. Ruan Qingshuang blushed and said, Aren't we going to Super 8? Of course not. Su Yun smiled at the time. We're not going to Super 7. Let's go, get in the car. You'll know when we get there. Of course, they couldn't go to that kind of ordinary chain hotel. Even if Su Yun didn't arrange it, they couldn't go to an ordinary chain hotel and waste such a romantic night. Su Yun had already made arrangements in his heart. The people who were following him were definitely Tao Inan's people. Then, he would go to the Intercontinental Ocean Hotel. He wanted to see what the other party could do to him. After arriving at the Intercontinental Ocean Hotel, Su Yun directly asked for the room next to the suite where Tao Inan lived. After all, the presidential suite on this floor was not cheap. There were definitely spare rooms. Ruan Qingshuang suddenly became like a little girlfriend who had just fallen in love. It was like a boyfriend who went to a hotel for the first time. In short, she was not used to it. Tao Qian, who was following Su Yun all the way, was really dumbfounded. He had worked so hard and waited for so long. He didn't even have a meal. In the end, he was actually following him to the hotel where he was staying. Was there anything more annoying than this? Even a fool could see that Su Yun was sincere. Tao Qian was once again seen through by the other party. Seeing that he took the girl to the room, Tao Qian stood there stupidly as if he was struck by lightning. Did this Su Yun have eyes on the back of his head? Why couldn't anything escape his eyes? Su Yun took Ruan Qingshuang to the room. Ruan Qingshuang didn't know why she became reserved. Go take a shower first. Su Yun, I saw a jacuzzi just now. I've already filled the tub for you, and there are even flower petals. It's very well equipped. With such a high price, it would be ridiculous if they didn't even have such a small configuration. It was just like spending 5,000 or 6,000 yuan to buy an iPhone that could not even compare to the specifications of a 700 yuan Xiaomi. That was definitely not going to work. Then, what about you? Ruan Qingshuang said, Are you still going out? Of course I'm not going out. It's already so late. Where else can I go? Su Yun said, I'll accompany you tonight. There's no one else, just the two of us. Ruan Qingshuang took a deep breath and summoned her courage. Then let's take a shower together. Su Yun's eyes lit up. Ruan Qingshuang was embarrassed. Although the two of them had done what they should do, after all, absence makes the heart grow fonder. The two of them hadn't been alone together for a long time. Su Yun only felt a flame burning directly in his dantian. An inexplicable impulse made him hold Ruan Qingshuang without hesitation. Before Ruan Qingshuang could react, Su Yun pressed her against the wall. The overbearing kiss completely made Ruan Qingshuang's legs go soft. Su Yun's overbearingness also brought Ruan Qingshuang's passion. Although she had never been a proactive person, today's atmosphere made her have a different kind of change. Ruan Qingshuang took the initiative to unbutton Su Yun's buttons. While enjoying the crazy kiss from Su Yun, she took off Su Yun's shirt. When she began to open Su Yun's belt, Su Yun's large hands also reached into Ruan Qingshuang's clothes with familiarity. With a snap, he pinched open the buckle on the back. The two of them went all the way to the bathroom like this. The splashing water quickly drowned the two of them in passion. Tao Qianni was angry, but he had nowhere to vent. In his eyes, everything in the Intercontinental Hotel was so unpleasant. After all, he had stayed here for many days. The lobby manager was also familiar with his face. "Hello, sir." The lobby manager walked forward. "Is there anything I can help you with?" Tao Qianni raised his head and glanced at the lobby manager. His eyes were cold. "I need your help. What can you help me with?" The lobby manager was startled. Seeing that the guest was in such a bad mood, she obviously regretted coming forward to cause trouble for him. "If I can help, I will do my best." Because the lobby manager's posture was that of possession, the cleavage in front of her chest was perfectly displayed in front of Tao Qianni's eyes. Tao Qianni swallowed a mouthful of saliva. "I need to vent. Are you sure you can help me? If you can help me, then follow me to the room." Facing such a straightforward question from the guest, the lobby manager was completely shocked. Many guests staying here would call the hotel at night to arrange business models for them. She was also very clear about the existence of these things and the customer's needs. But really, no guest would directly say such things to her. Although she was angry and annoyed, her professionalism made her absolutely unable to be angry at the guest. "I'm sorry, sir. I'm afraid I can't help you in this regard," the lobby manager said. "This is your so-called doing your best? You haven't done it yet. How do you know you can't do it?" Tao Qianni said aggressively. I don't have the service obligation in this regard." The lobby manager said, "But, if you need, I can help you contact them." Tao Qianni was startled and sneered. "You also provide this kind of service?" "No. Of course not that kind of service. We can only help the guest to contact some business models. If the guest needs someone to accompany him to drink coffee or red wine," the lobby manager explained. Tao Qianni said disdainfully, "That's not venting. The venting I'm talking about refers to the kind of venting on the bed that can make you feel heart-wrenching pain and pleasure. Do you understand? If the price is right, I believe there will be girls who are willing to do it." The lobby manager had made it very clear when he said this. Tao Qianni had nowhere to vent his anger. How could he care about this now? "Money is not a problem. Contact them for me now." "Then what price do you need?" "Our starting price is 2,000. Her figure and appearance will definitely satisfy you." The lobby manager said, "For 1,000 yuan is enough to hire a professional model, the kind that usually participates in fashion shows and takes photos. Of course, there are even better ones, like the Campus Belle. That's even more expensive, at 6,000 yuan. Then I want Campus Belles. 6,000 yuan is 6,000 yuan. I want two," Tao Qianni said. "Two together? Then the price may increase a little." Tao Qianni glared. "I said that the price is not a problem. Contact them immediately. Go to my room." Okay. The lobby manager was shocked by Tao Qianni's gaze. Fortunately, she quickly recovered. She asked Tao Qianni for the room number and then helped to contact the girls. Although she was only a middleman, she could get 20% of the profit from the so-called business models and Campus Belles. In fact, those models and Campus Belles were fake identities. They were all high-end girls who did peripheral work. The price was not cheap. After all, they were beautiful and pure. They could completely arouse a man's impulse. Moreover, the people who could afford to stay in such a high-end hotel were all people who could afford it, especially those nouveau riche type of nouveau riche. In their eyes, 35,000 yuan was not considered money at all. Even if it was 10,000 or 20,000 yuan, it was just a drizzle in their eyes. If there were benefits, there would be business. Being a middleman could easily earn 20% of the referral fee. Why not? Besides, the relationship in such a place was strong enough. As long as the hotel itself was not in a mess, those things were inevitable. Usually, there were many big bosses who brought their mistresses to get a room. These people were willing to do and accept things. Who could say anything? Was it against the law? If it was not, it could only be said to be against morality. This kind of thing could not be investigated by the police. There were too many people in the world who violated the bottom line of morality, especially those who had nowhere to spend their money and were afraid that they would not be able to take it with them. If they did not squander it, they would be sorry for their lives. Chapter 26-22. After Tao Tianyi returned to the room, he slammed his clothes on the ground. About 10 minutes later, 2 young and beautiful girls came to knock on the door. As soon as the 2 girls entered the room, Tao Tianyi pounced on them like a wolf, but the 2 girls stopped him very calmly. After all, they weren't here to talk about love, but to make money. Money was the first thing they saw. Otherwise, they wouldn't take off their clothes. After all, there were many shameless people in this day and age. There were those who ate and dashed, those who drank and dashed, and even those who dared to visit prostitutes often happened. So now there was a rule in this industry, which was to pay first. It was the same principle as buying a family bucket in a fast food restaurant. If you didn't pay, they wouldn't give you a chicken. The only difference was that one was fried chicken, and the other was chicken. Sir, let's talk about the price first. If the 2 of us serve you separately, it will be 6,000 per person. If we serve you together, it will be 15,000 per person. The tall girl with long hair wasn't vague at all when she talked about the price. She was very clear and wasn't embarrassed at all. The other also added, if you have any other special hobbies, you will have to pay more on this basis. If my special hobbies are to kill you, how much more do you want? Tao Tianyi was angry in his heart. When he heard that these 2 bitches didn't have any feelings at all and only talked about money when they met, he was unhappy. If you really have the ability, we will admit that we are unlucky. The tall girl thought that she was experienced and wasn't afraid of the customer's threatening words at all. She had even served a rich person who had taken several strong drugs. Moreover, she had served several of them at once. How could she be afraid of one person? No matter what, they were still 2 people. It wasn't certain who would die and who would live at that time. Humph. Tao Tianyi sneered. Then you better be prepared for me, the other girl said. 50,000, we will play with you until dawn. Before dawn, you can do whatever you want. Although Tao Tianyi was a servant of the Tao family, he didn't care about this little money. He walked straight to the front of his bag and took out 6 stacks of cash that he had exchanged at Huaxia. He threw them at the 2 of them and said, I'll give you an extra 10,000. Don't let me down. When the 2 girls saw the money, their faces bloomed like flowers. Their previous unfamiliarity disappeared. The tall girl rushed to Tao Tianyi and said coquettishly, Brother, you're so bad. You hit me just now. It's right here. Come, help me rub it. As she spoke, the tall girl took Tao Tianyi's hand and placed it on her chest. The other girl roughly identified the authenticity of the cash. I will find you a supermodel from Victoria's Secret for you to play with, Tao Ruhu said. Get them out of here now. The money has been spent. I can play until dawn. Tao Tianyi said, just give me some space. Do whatever you want. Don't spoil my fun. If Miss Tao knows that you're doing this here, she will definitely kill you, Tao Ruhu said. If you don't say it and I don't say it, who will know? Miss Tao won't find this place. Tao Tianyi said, get out. Don't make me angry. Tao Ruhu didn't have any temper. You are really hopeless. This brother, don't pretend to be so clean. Everyone is here to play. It won't cost much. The tall girl said, besides, we are very clean. Not everyone can touch us. Although Tao Ruhu wasn't a clean person, he really wasn't in the mood. No matter how high your price is, you are still a slut. Do you understand? Bitch. Yo, you are still speaking English. You speak as if we don't know what bitch means. The tall girl was really unhappy. Although we are in this line of work, we aren't the kind of people who don't want to be bitches. Now that there are outsiders in the room, we can't continue doing business. Brother, think of a way. Should we change a place to continue, or should we let your friend leave first? Can't you give me some time? Tao Tianyi said. Tao Ruhu said bluntly, you are almost enough. What the F***ck do you know? You just said that I am almost enough. Tao Tianyi's anger couldn't be controlled. How many times have I been fooled by that guy? I was still fooled today. I have nowhere to vent my anger. Now that I am looking for two sluts to vent it out, you still have to stand in front of me and talk nonsense. Hearing being scolded, the tall girl's face was very unhappy. Brother, when you were having fun just now, you didn't call us sluts. Aren't you sluts? Tao Tianyi slapped them. Sluts. Get out of here. Take your money and get out of here. Otherwise, I will really kill you. This slap was really solid. It hit the tall girl until she was completely stunned. Being an outsider also had dignity. They were already asked to get out. Could it be that they still didn't want to leave? Fine, let's go. Anyway, the money was in their hands. They didn't lose anything. The two girls immediately got up and got dressed to leave. Tao Tianyi still didn't want to let them go. He got up and grabbed their hair. He directly threw them out of the room naked, along with their clothes and bags. Everything was thrown out. Chapter 26-23. I told you to get lost, so get lost immediately. Don't appear in front of me for even a minute. Tao Tianyi was still yelling. At this time, Tao Ruhu fully realized that his brother must have been provoked by something. He quickly went forward to stop him and closed the door. He didn't want to embarrass his brother. The girls who were pushed to the corridor were anxious and embarrassed. They could definitely be considered as masters who had experienced hundreds of battles, but they really had never seen such a person. He was really one of a kind. But the two of them didn't dare to say anything. They could only swallow their anger and quickly put on their clothes at the door. After all, the surveillance camera was right in front of them. The guy in the surveillance room didn't pay them. They didn't want more people to see their bodies for free. It was worthless to be seen for free. When the two of them put on their clothes, they cursed at the door and ran away as if they were escaping. Although this wasn't a glorious thing, the two of them had to admit that they were in a good mood. The two of them worked for less than 2 hours and earned 60,000 yuan. After splitting it 50-50, there was still 30,000 yuan left. It was enough to buy a new LV bag. In the face of such a rich profit, the humiliation they suffered just now was nothing. What happened to you? Tao Ruhu looked at Tao Tianyi, puzzled. Even if you are in trouble, you don't have to do this, right? Looking for two women to vent? This isn't you. Not me. Then what am I like? Tao Tianyi said, let me tell you. I'm a trash. I'm useless. You don't have to comfort me. I achieved nothing after coming to Huaxia. Is there a need to explain? What do you mean by nothing? If you say that about yourself, isn't it the same for me? Did I achieve anything? Tao Ruhu said, we didn't achieve anything. We need to reflect. Tao Tianyi said, we were played like dogs by the other party. What's there to reflect? I really don't think we can do anything else. What happened to you? Tao Ruhu said, we can immediately contact the people from the other great families to give him a show of strength. We just need to wait patiently for a few days. What exactly did you do? Originally, this was a great contribution for us, but we can only give it to everyone to share. Tao Tianyi said, are you willing? Did you do something again? Tao Ruhu asked. He just wanted to know what had happened to his brother. Answer me. I've been tricked again. Tao Tianyi said, I want to follow them myself and find Jiang Zixue. Once we capture Jiang Zixue, we will have the capital. Thus, Miss Tao has the confidence to speak. Tao Ruhu was stunned. Are you crazy? Don't you understand Miss Tao's intentions? Tao Tianyi said, what's there to figure out? As long as we capture him, we'll have a bargaining chip no matter what. Tao Ruhu shook his head helplessly. I followed him for a few hours. He brought the girl to eat Western food and watch a movie. Do you know where he went in the end? Tao Qianni was a little desperate when he said this. He didn't go home. Instead, he came to the Intercontinental Hotel and booked a room next to Miss Tao's. This is for me to see. He stayed here? Tao Ruhu was surprised when he heard this. Obviously, everything the other party did was to show his identity as a local tyrant. He didn't put them in his eyes at all. Tao Qianni let out a long sigh. I really feel that I'm useless in Huaxia. I can only be treated like a dog. Don't say such discouraging words. Tao Ruhu said, we're not in a desperate situation yet. Tao Qianni smiled bitterly and shook his head. This wasn't a problem of desperation. It was a problem of his current mentality. His mentality was already very bad. Let me tell you, you're lucky you didn't find Jiang Zixue. Do you know why? Tao Qianni said, because Miss Jiang doesn't intend to continue looking for her personally. What do you mean? Tao Qianni said, she doesn't want to catch her personally. That's right. Tao Ruhu said. Tao Qianni really couldn't understand. But the other 5 families are about to intervene. When the time comes, the credit will go to whoever steals it. Moreover, the responsibility will be shouldered by everyone. So why not fight for the credit? Fight for my ass. Tao Ruhu said, this isn't any credit at all. It's a bomb. A bomb that might explode at any time. What's more, do you think the Tao family will benefit from capturing Jiang Zixue? Everything in the Jiang family had already been divided. Capturing Jiang Zixue was nothing more than establishing their prestige among the 6 families. Tao Ruhu said, I can tell you very clearly that there's no benefit to speak of. Tao Qianni nodded. That was indeed the case. When Miss Tao asked me to go to the board of directors to look for Uncle Da and contact the other 5 families, I was already thinking about it. Tao Ruhu said, getting Miss Tao to come to Huaxia to do this is very likely Tao Zhu's scheme. Tao Qianni was shocked when he heard that. Tao Zhu was the eldest son and eldest grandson of this generation of the Tao family. It could be said that he held a high position in the Tao family. Think about it, it's about time for the Tao family to change positions. Tao Zhu will soon be in charge of the family, Tao Ruhu said. But in this generation of the Tao family, he really can't control Miss Tao. If he can't control Miss Tao, his position won't be stable. Tao Qianni broke out in cold sweat when he heard this. It seemed like Miss Tao had already seen through everything. Think about it. Isn't Tao Zhu looking for an opportunity to trap Miss Tao in such a predicament? Tao Ruhu said. Tao Qianni nodded. That's right, now was a very good opportunity. Regardless of whether Miss Tao could accomplish this task or not, Tao Zhu would have the opportunity to embarrass her. Therefore, they had to eliminate the source of the problem and do it quietly. They couldn't leave any evidence behind and give Tao Zhu the opportunity to hand her over to the Empress. After Tao Qianni understood everything, he felt a little scared. So you didn't do anything wrong. You don't have to be so depressed. Tao Ruhu said, in a few days, when the people from the other 5 great clans arrive, we just have to watch a good show. Tao Qianni said, then how do you know that the other 5 great clans are willing to take action? We gave them time to investigate and gave them information. When they realize that the Empress isn't around, they will definitely take action against Jiang Zixue. Tao Ruhu said, after all, there are still people like the Li and Zhou families who want to establish their power among the 6 great clans. This was the logic behind it. Then I'm afraid we can't continue living here. Tao Qianni suddenly thought of something. After all, the other party knows everything about us and even went to look for Miss Jiang. Tao Ruhu nodded. Yes. Now that he's living next door to Miss Tao, what do you think we should do? Should we inform Miss Tao, or should we just let nature take its course? Do you think he has a motive? Tao Ruhu asked. Tao Qianni said, I think he's just giving me a piece of advice, telling me not to continue following him. We can't do anything to him on Guqin Island. Even if he comes knocking on my door, I can only watch helplessly. Tao Ruhu sneered. This fellow's arrogance was indeed somewhat uncomfortable. It was no wonder that Tao Qianni needed to discover this. If he was in Tao Qianni's shoes and couldn't do anything about it, he would definitely find a way to vent his anger. "Brother, I should have understood you just now," Tao Ruhu said. "If you still have anger in your heart, then call those 2 girls to come back. Having someone to let you vent your anger is still beneficial for the current you." Tao Qianni shook his head. "I've already lost that impulse. The only thing I want to see now is what that fellow can do when the people from the 5 great clans arrive. He. I believe that with Miss Tao's intelligence, it's not impossible for her to set up a trap and let the other 5 great clans massacre him." Tao Ruhu said, "When the time comes, we will definitely be put to use. We must be careful not to leave any evidence behind." Tao Qianni nodded and revealed a smile on his face. It was as if he could already see the dawn of victory and the tragic end of Su Yun. What he needed now was this feeling. This way, he could feel his own existence and the meaning of coming to Hua Xia. Chapter 26-24. Should we inform Miss Tao now? After all, Su Yun is staying in the room next to hers, Tao Qianni said. Tao Ruhu shook his head. "I don't think that's necessary. Since the other party only wants to teach you a lesson, he won't do anything out of line. After all, the Tao family's prestige is still there. But after all, this guy..." Tao Qianni was definitely worried. He was the one who provoked the other party. He was also afraid that Miss Tao would blame him. "If we go and tell her, Miss Tao will definitely know that you provoked Su Yun," Tao Ruhu said. Tao Ruhu said, "She already gave the order for us to stop, but you didn't listen to her orders." Tao Qianni sucked in a breath of cold air. Thinking about it, Miss Tao's temper had been so bad recently. His disobedience would definitely make Miss Tao angry. Facing a master with such a violent emotional reaction, Tao Qianni could only be as careful as possible. "I suggest you treat it as if this never happened," Tao Ruhu said. "Besides, it's not the first time the other party came to find Miss Tao. He came when we weren't here, and he didn't dare to do anything to Miss Tao. So, Miss Tao won't be in any danger." Tao Qianni nodded. That made sense. "Then we'll let nature take its course and wait and see." Su Yun and Ruan Qingshuang finally changed and walked out of the bathroom. After nearly 2 hours of passion, Ruan Qingshuang was exhausted. She sat on the sofa and didn't want to move. "It's good to come to the hotel once in a while." Su Yun smiled. He opened a bottle of champagne from the wine cabinet and poured a glass for Ruan Qingshuang. Ruan Qingshuang took the glass. "That's a good idea. Why don't you come to the hotel more often?" "I don't have any problems, but I'm worried that you won't be able to take it." Su Yun smiled evilly. "Aren't you annoying? What nonsense are you talking about?" Ruan Qingshuang said. "You make it sound like I want to come to the hotel with you." Su Yun laughed. "All right, I wanted to come." Ruan Qingshuang blushed and ignored Su Yun. After drinking a glass of champagne, Su Yun said to Ruan Qingshuang, "Do you know who lives next door?" "Who is it?" Ruan Qingshuang was stunned. "Although I don't know if the person who followed us today was arranged by her, I'm sure that guy must be one of her people," Su Yun said. Ruan Qingshuang suddenly realized, "I knew you must have other reasons to come here." "No wonder." "That's not why I'm here. I just feel that the environment here is not bad." Su Yun, "Besides, it's convenient for me to ask her whether this is her stupid instruction or her subordinate's stupid decision. No matter what the reason is, it can make them complain to each other." Although Ruan Qingshuang didn't quite understand Su Yun's purpose for doing this, she knew that complaining was a terrible thing. Any foolish person would criticize, reprimand, and complain about others. Only the most foolish people would do that. But if you want to forgive and understand, you need to work on character and self-restraint. There was no shortage of people in this world who complained. Internationally, some small and poor countries often complained about their own country, their own people, their lack of resources, and the lack of social assistance. The more these countries complained, the poorer they became, and the more they complained, the more sloppy they became. A small family would complain endlessly every day. And the more ordinary the living conditions of the family were, the more complaints they had. They would complain about waking up early and late, about the saltiness of breakfast, and even about such trivial things. This kind of complaint existed in too many families in Huaxia. The more people complained, the smaller their hearts would be. The more people complained, the more their children would be influenced to hate and complain about life. This was a kind of negative energy that could make happiness become unhappiness. The more people complained, the more unhappy they would be. But many people didn't know how to restrain their complaints at all, especially those who were seriously self-centered. They would even complain because others didn't do things according to their wishes. The more they complained, the more unfortunate they would be. Su Yun used complaints to deal with the other party. It didn't seem like a big deal, but if he really used it a few times, it would definitely have a very serious impact. This was because complaining would create an extremely unpleasant mood. When one was in a bad mood, everything would become unpleasant. That was the case with the heart. It could be said that complaining was the most negative thing in this society. Someone said that if you wanted to destroy a family, you didn't need anything else at all. Poverty, disease, and misfortune, these things couldn't defeat a family. And complaining to each other could easily destroy a family completely. Almost all the broken families in the world, whether rich or poor, whether it was social celebrities or the bottom of the workshop, those who complained about life would end up with misfortune. How could a person who was surrounded by complaints every day be happy? Complaining less and reflecting more, especially those who were self-centered and opinionated, would allow them to understand themselves more clearly. Are you really going to go next door? Ruan Qingxuang said, Isn't it a bit too late? I just want to be late. Su Yun, go when she wants to sleep, then the effect can be achieved. Think about it, it's time to sleep, but you know such a thing that makes people feel angry. Won't you feel like you're gambling? You're really bad. Ruan Qingxuang said, I think you should go now. Su Yun smiled and said, Okay, I'll listen to you. Su Yun changed his shoes and went directly to knock on the door next door. Tao Yinan, who had just taken a shower and was about to rest, was obviously affected. But when she opened the door and saw that it was Su Yun, the expression on her face became more impatient. Tao Yinan was the kind of typical complainer. Because she felt that she could do anything, that she knew everything, and that she did everything better than others, she would complain more than others. This was like the head of a family. The higher the position of the person, the more complaints he or she would have. Whether it was a rich big family or a poor small family, they were all like this. Why are you here? Tao Yinan looked at Su Yun, puzzled. Su Yun smiled slightly and said, I have nowhere to go, so I stayed at the Intercontinental Hotel. Tao Yinan said, What do you mean? You don't even understand? Su Yun said, Don't tell me you don't know what your people have done. Tao Yinan said, Su Yun, you better make it clear to me. What did my people do? You better not splash dirty water on me. Miss Tao, if I didn't have full confidence, I wouldn't be standing in front of you like a fool. Su Yun said, I'm still very confident in my judgment. Tao Yinan snorted and said, What do you have to be confident about? I don't know what you're talking about. Miss Tao, are you really not going to invite me in? Su Yun said, If Miss Tao doesn't welcome me, then I'll invite you to my room. It's just next door. Tao Yinan took a deep breath. This guy was crazy. He actually booked a room next to hers. If Tao Yinan had known, she would have booked all the rooms around her. That way, she would have been more comfortable. Damn it! Without waiting for Tao Yinan's invitation, Su Yun once again took the initiative to walk into Tao Yinan's room. He looked around. Other than a bottle of expensive red wine on the bar, there was no other change. Miss Tao is really someone who loves wine. I'm really sorry for wasting it that day. Su Yun smiled and sat down. Chapter 26-25. If Su Yun didn't say this, Tao Yinan really wouldn't be angry. When Su Yun mentioned the incident that day, Tao Yinan couldn't help but vent her anger. A bottle of rare 1787 Chateau Lafite was directly ruined by this guy. More importantly, this guy ruined her mood at all. The remaining half of the bottle was also ruined by her. Thinking about the Chateau Lafite that was poured down her throat in one gulp, she still regretted it. 20 million, in less than half an hour, they were screwed over. More importantly, this wasn't a matter of money at all. If it was only 20 million yuan that was lost, burned, or even stolen, it didn't matter. But it was a bottle of Chateau Lafite. A bottle of red wine that she would never find again in her life. This was the most unbearable thing for Tao Yinan. Although Su Yun said sorry, his behavior didn't have any intention of repentance at all. He even picked up the bottle of red wine on Tao Yinan's table again. I didn't mean to buy you a drink. If you have something to say, just say it. After you say it clearly, leave my room immediately. Tao Yinan said bluntly. Su Yun still didn't mean to stop. For a person like Tao Yinan who loved red wine so much, the red wine in the room must naturally be good. How could there be no reason not to share good things? Su Yun definitely wanted to have a taste and appraise it. He skillfully picked up the wine glass and poured red wine for himself. While shaking it and smelling the wine, he said to Tao Yinan, "Miss Tao, your people followed me for a night. It's not too much for me to come here and ask for a glass of wine, right?" Tao Yinan's face was very ugly. "I can tell you very clearly that my people won't provoke you again. You'd better figure it out before you come to trouble me." Without waiting for Su Yun to speak, Tao Yinan immediately said, "Also, I think I should warn you. Don't provoke me again. Tao Yinan of the Tao family is not so easy to bully. Miss Tao, except for your people, I really can't think of anyone else who would trouble me." Su Yun said, "Don't think that I can't recognize a silver Nissan Elisa just because it's a black Buick minivan." Tao Yinan was stunned. She knew that the silver Tianlai and the black Buick were rented by her people after they came to Huaxia. "Must I read out the license plate number for you to admit it?" Su Yun said, "Miss Tao, you're being a little unreasonable. You dare to do it, but you don't dare to admit it." Tao Yinan trembled with anger. This was not her arrangement, nor was it her intention. This was completely a stupid thing that Tao Tianyi had done on his own initiative. "I feel that Miss Tao's actions are really beneath the Tao family style," Su Yun said. "If I say something that touches your heart, Miss Tao, please don't be angry." Tao Yinan said, "I admit that my people might have acted on their own, but I definitely didn't make such arrangements." Such a shrewd master actually has such a stupid subordinate. Su Yun laughed. "Miss Tao, I think you should really think about it." "I don't need you to teach me what to do," Tao Yinan said. "I remember I told you last time that if you still don't let go of Jiang Zixue, then we'll have a falling out." Su Yun said, "No matter what benefits your Tao family can get, or what benefits your big families can get, you won't get any benefits at all. You'll die miserably." Tao Yinan frowned. "You dare to threaten me?" "Me?" Su Yun said, "You're just a sacrifice pushed out by the Tao family. Do you think I don't dare to threaten you?" Tao Yinan was speechless for a long time because of Su Yun's words. Su Yun took a sip of Tao Yinan's red wine and continued, "Although I don't know if the shrewd Miss Tao has any new ideas, your stupid subordinate will definitely mess it up for you." Tao Yinan trembled all over. She had no reason to refute Su Yun's words. "Miss Tao, I've said everything I need to say." Su Yun said, "Tell your stupid subordinate to be more careful. Also, remember to tell him that no matter when, if he dares to target me, I'll dare to walk him around like a dog." Tao Yinan clenched her fists. Tao Tianyi really made her lose face this time. "The wine is good. I won't waste it for Miss Tao." Su Yun finished the wine in his cup and put it down. "Su Yun, I've said it before. The matter of dealing with the Jiang family isn't just our Tao family's problem," Tao Yinan said. "Tracking down Jiang Zixue isn't just my Tao family's problem. You'd better pay more attention. Even if I don't make a move, someone else will." Don't put all your attention on me. Su Yun knew that Tao Yinan was indirectly telling him that the other families were also involved. Obviously, she was very confident in the results her subordinates brought back from the Shenjiang 7-Star Board of Directors. Then, I'll thank Miss Tao for the reminder, Su Yun said, but no matter what, this matter must be done by your 6 families. I don't care so much. I'm just me. I'm just Tao Yinan. Tao Yinan said, if it's my people, I can say something. The Tao family subordinates are very obedient. But the others? Ha ha ha. Su Yun smiled and said, Miss Tao, I can't see anyone else now. The only person I can see is you. Tao Yinan said, that only means that your eyesight isn't good enough. That depends on what Miss Tao can do to make my eyesight better. Su Yun said, but don't let your lackeys provoke me again. I don't have much patience. Humph. Tao Yinan snorted. If someone follows me again, then I won't be polite anymore, Su Yun said. Tao Yinan threw 2 words at Su Yun. Do as you wish. Su Yun smiled faintly. Perhaps only Tao Yinan could understand that smile. Then I'll give you a piece of advice. Don't come here and provoke me again. I don't have much patience. If you come here uninvited again, then I won't be polite to you anymore, Tao Yinan said. Su Yun waved his hand. If you didn't provoke me, I wouldn't have come. Even if you invited me, I wouldn't have come. Then you really have to keep your word. Tao Yinan said, take care. I won't send you off. Su Yun got up and walked to the door. When he opened the door and was about to leave, he turned back and said, don't forget to tell your stupid underling what I mean. Knock some sense into him. You don't have to worry about that. Tao Yinan said. If you feel bored at night, you can come to my room and play with me. Su Yun said, I can play fight the landlord here. I need one more player. Tao Yinan didn't care about Su Yun at all. When Su Yun closed the door and left, Tao Yinan picked up the phone and dialed Tao Tiany's number. Come up now and explain to me what you did tonight. Tao Yinan said. She didn't wait for Tao Tiany to reply and directly hung up the phone. Tao Tiany was dumbfounded as if he had received the order from the King of Hell. Tao Ruhu also frowned. There was no such thing as an airtight wall in the world. But this matter was exposed too quickly, right? What exactly happened? That damn guy. It must be him. Tao Tiany gritted his teeth. This Su Yun really didn't play his cards according to common sense. Tao Ruhu's face was full of disbelief. It can't be that he went to Miss Tao's room and exposed this matter, right? Who else could it be other than him? Tao Tiany said, Humph, he just wants to kill with a borrowed knife and let Miss Tao punish me. I just need to explain to Miss Tao, and this matter will be fine. How do you explain? Explain what? Tao Ruhu said, after all, your motive was wrong from the beginning. Don't explain. Go up and receive your punishment. I will go with you. Chapter 26-26. Tao Tiany shook his head. I'll take responsibility for what I did. You don't have to go with me. Even if you go, you'll just be implicated. If it's just you, there won't be anyone to speak up for you. Tao Ruhu said, No, I have to go with you. I said no need, so there's no need. Tao Tiany said, I can handle it myself. Tao Ruhu knew that it was useless to say anything more, so he didn't say anything else. He knew that Tao Tiany wouldn't have a good ending this time. Miss Tao would definitely be furious. Tao Tiany, who was prepared, wasn't surprised by Miss Tao's actions at all. He didn't say a word when he was given 2 slaps before he could even say anything after entering the room. Are you ignoring my words? Tao Yinan said, Don't tell me you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm sorry, Miss Tao. I misunderstood. Tao Tiany lowered his head and said, I know I'm in the wrong. Please punish me. Do you really think that I don't dare to do anything to you because I don't have any subordinates in Huaxia? Tao Yinan said, Let me tell you, Tao Tiany. Even without you, I can still do what I want to do. Tao Qianni knew that he had completely angered Tao Yinan. Miss Tao, I really don't have any other intentions. I just want to help you do things well. Tao Yinan snorted. You've already provoked people next door, and you still say you want to help me do things well? Then I really should thank you properly. I really didn't know things would turn out like this. Tao Qianni said, Please punish me, Miss Tao. Tao Qianni, I'll let you keep your life for now. Tao Yinan said, If you perform well, I don't want your life. But if you make any more mistakes, then don't blame me. Miss Tao, I'll definitely do my best to repay Miss Tao's kindness. Tao Qianni said. Tao Yinan's anger eased a little. Don't blame me for not giving you a chance. You'll soon be able to use your actions to make up for your mistakes. Tao Qianni was stunned. Miss Tao, what can I do? Since you've already followed Su Yun, you'll be the one to lead the other 5 clans when they arrive. Tao Qianni looked at Tao Yinan in confusion. Su Yun is a shrewd person. Every time you follow him, he'll be able to detect it in time. Therefore, I need you to lead the other 5 clans into this trap. Tao Qianni was startled for a moment, but he quickly understood what Tao Yinan meant. Tao Yinan wanted to use him as a fuse. This was a plan to sacrifice him. Miss Tao, I have already been discovered by Su Yun. At that time, Tao Qianni said, I will still expose the Tao family. Since the 6 great clans are involved, the Tao clan is naturally unavoidable. Tao Yinan said, If we don't do it and let others do it, no one will do it obediently. Tao Qianni frowned. Then I believe you'll find a way to escape. Tao Yinan said, As long as the Tao clan isn't the one who harmed Jiang Zixue in the end, I believe Zhuo Langyue won't make things difficult for the Tao clan. Tao Qianni understood. You want me to find a way to plant this disaster on someone else's head? Of course. Tao Yinan said. Otherwise? Are you stupid enough to think this is a merit? This is a disaster. No matter who it falls on, they will be pushed out to give Zhuo Langyue an explanation. Tao Qianni nodded. Tao Yinan said, What you said just now still counts, right? If you're required to make a sacrifice, will you do it? Tao Qianni opened his eyes wide. What sacrifice do I need to make? If you don't make a sacrifice, how can the Tao clan get out of this? Tao Yinan asked back. Tao Qianni was at a loss again. Everything Tao Yinan said to him today seemed to have a hidden meaning. He always thought he understood, but he didn't really understand. It's impossible for a dead person to harm Jiang Zixue. When Tao Yinan said this, her eyes were fixed on Tao Qianni's body. Tao Qianni was suddenly enlightened. He finally understood Tao Yinan's meaning. In the end, there must be someone who carried out the final blow in the operation of the 6 great clans. At that time, no matter who did this, it was impossible for them to admit it. Therefore, Zhuo Langyue would definitely conduct a thorough investigation. If the Tao clan's people who participated in this matter died in this operation, then the Tao clan could be completely eliminated. Therefore, as long as Tao Qianni made a sacrifice, the Tao clan could ensure their safety. Tao Qianni was silent. He didn't dare to avoid Tao Yinan's gaze, but he didn't know how to accept Tao Yinan's gaze. What you said just now can't be just empty words, right? Tao Yinan said, You said you'll do your best for me until your death. Tao Qianni's Adam's apple moved. He did say this sentence just now, but he only said it to explain and apologize. If he was really asked to make such a sacrifice, would he be able to do it? The answer was obviously impossible. Anyone who was faced with such a choice of death would definitely hesitate. This was a normal mentality for anyone. I know, this might make you feel very difficult. Tao Yinan said, but sometimes, for the benefit of the clan, everyone has to make a necessary sacrifice. Isn't that so? Tao Qianni nodded with difficulty. The matter had been pushed to him, he had no choice but to accept it. I hope you can understand. Tao Yinan said, however, it's not like you don't have a chance. If you can fake your death, as long as you can fool them, I guarantee that the Tao family will give you a new identity, a new life, and new arrangements. Seeing that Tao Qiani was unmoved, Tao Yinan emphasized, a new life, it depends on whether you have the ability to achieve it. This brand new life wasn't something that could be obtained so easily. I will do my best. Tao Qiani said, Miss Tao, I have a request. What request? Tao Yinan said, go ahead and say it. As long as I can satisfy you, I will do my best to satisfy you. I hope you won't tell Ruhu about this matter. Tao Qiani said, you also know that Ruhu and I came to the Tao clan almost at the same time. The two of us have been here for many years, serving you like brothers. I understand what you mean. Tao Yinan said, as long as you don't say anything, I won't say anything to Tao Ruhu. Tao Qiani laughed bitterly, I don't want him to worry about me. I also don't want him to do anything stupid because of this matter. I understand. I understand everything you said. Tao Yinan said, you can rest assured about this. I guarantee it. With your words, I am at ease. Tao Qiani said. Tao Yinan smiled, you don't have to be so pessimistic. In fact, you have a lot of opportunities. As long as you seize one opportunity, you can obtain a new life. Tao Qiani swallowed a mouthful of saliva. The Tao clan won't treat you unfairly. I won't treat you unfairly either. Tao Yinan said, trust me. Tao Qiani knew very well that this was a matter of 9 deaths and 1 life. It was easy to say, but very difficult to do. Chapter 26-27. After Su Yun returned to the room, Ruan Qingxuang asked curiously. Su Yun roughly explained the situation to Ruan Qingxuang. He believed that with Tao Yinan's current complaints, she would definitely give her underling a difficult path to walk. These were all the unlucky guy's own troubles. Who asked him to provoke Su Yun? Even if Su Yun didn't do it himself, he wouldn't let him live comfortably. Then do you think that person will come to retaliate against us? Ruan Qingxuang said, I should be more vigilant tonight. Su Yun smiled. It's impossible. Now the Tao family is very clear. Once they make a move on me, the matter will be exposed. Then we should be more careful. Ruan Qingxuang said, be prepared at any time. You should sleep early. I'm not sleepy now. I can hold on for a while. As Ruan Qingxuang spoke, she pulled Su Yun to the bed and asked Su Yun to quickly go in and cover himself with the quilt. She also lay down and quickly turned off the bedside lamp. Are we going to sleep just like this? Su Yun, I haven't taken off my clothes yet. It's so dark. You don't have to take off your clothes. Don't you even have a sense of crisis? Ruan Qingxuang said, didn't I say that you have to be vigilant at all times? Then I'll sleep with my clothes on? Su Yun, I'm not the deputy chief of the Public Prosecution Department of the Northeast Procuratorate. Why would I sleep with my clothes on after picking up a female classmate to play in the hotel? The money for our room wasn't from the security team. Ruan Qingxuang was speechless. I'm not joking with you. I'm serious. I'm also serious. Su Yun smiled and took off his shirt directly. Then, he pressed Ruan Qingxuang on the bed. Facing Su Yun like this, Ruan Qingxuang naturally couldn't resist. Although she was already exhausted, the flame in her heart was once again ignited by Su Yun. The two didn't remember when they fell asleep. It wasn't until dawn that Ruan Qingxuang suddenly sat up. Before Su Yun tortured her yesterday, she thought that she must stay awake and not have any negligence. In the end, she snuggled in Su Yun's arms and fell asleep without any vigilance. Fortunately, she saw that everything in the room was normal. Su Yun was lying on the bed in all sorts of positions. The quilt wasn't properly covered. His naked body was cold to the touch. Ruan Qingxuang saw that Su Yun was still sleeping comfortably. She didn't dare to disturb him. She carefully covered Su Yun with the quilt. Su Yun suddenly reached out and hugged Ruan Qingxuang again. When did you wake up? Ruan Qingxuang punched Su Yun's chest. You scared me to death. I woke up when you woke up. Su Yun smiled. In fact, Su Yun was the one who stayed alert the whole night. Although he knew that the other party wouldn't act rashly, Ruan Qingxuang was right. He couldn't relax his vigilance at any time. He said that to Ruan Qingxuang yesterday just to let her sleep peacefully. If he didn't dare to show this confidence, how could Ruan Qingxuang sleep so peacefully? It's already 7:00. Let's get up quickly. There are still things to deal with at the company. Ruan Qingxuang said. It doesn't matter if it's early or late. Su Yun once again pressed Ruan Qingxuang under his body. Stop it. How can I work like this? Ruan Qingxuang said, Hurry up. I want to take a shower. There is really important work to deal with this morning. Su Yun saw that Ruan Qingxuang was serious, so he got up obediently. Well, I won't torture you. I'll help you take a shower. You're annoying. Ruan Qingxuang put on her clothes and quickly ran into the bathroom. Whoever follows me is a puppy. A puppy was a puppy. Su Yun didn't even put on his clothes. He got up and walked directly. As he walked, he barked, Woof woof. I can bite, woof. Zhao family, Chen family, Sun family, Li family, Zhou family. The parents of these 5 families received a notice from the board of directors, Zhou De, on the same day. Zhou De said very clearly that Jiang Zixue had been taken care of by the Tao family. Now Tao Yinan was dealing with the remaining matters. He hoped to get their support. This matter was like a bomb to the people of these families. When they heard that the bomb was defused, of course, they were relieved. However, Tao Yinan's request still made them feel a little confused. Should they go or not? For a moment, no one could make a decision. If they went, they felt uneasy. No one could guarantee that there wouldn't be any problems. Although it was just dealing with the aftermath, no one was willing to intervene. However, if they didn't go, they felt that it was inappropriate. After all, the Tao family had already taken care of this matter. Now, they just needed to deal with the aftermath. If they didn't help, it would be unreasonable. In the end, the people of the 5 families discussed on the phone and decided to arrange for people to go to Huaxia to deal with it. After all, this matter was also notified by the Tao family through the board of directors. This matter was related to the unity of the remaining 6 families. They were all selfish. They were afraid that if they didn't arrange for people from the other families to go, they would definitely be resented by the Tao family. The other families would also look down on them. In this way, the status of the entire family would be completely unable to raise their heads in the circle of the 6 families. If anything happened in the future, their right to speak would be even weaker. No one dared to think too much about the interests involved. Driven by such a mentality, no one wanted to fall into an isolated position. Even the Zhang family had been wiped out. If anyone still wanted to play isolated in this circle, then their family would not be far away from being wiped out. Whether it was for benefits, for status, or for safety, they should respond to this matter. This was the purpose of the 5 families. For this reason, they had to make a trip to Huaxia. Besides, it wasn't a dragon's pool or a tiger's den. The problem had been solved, so what was there to worry about? However, none of them knew that this was a trap set by Tao Yinan. She had set a trap and was just waiting for them to walk into it. Tao Yinan was a smart person. She wouldn't walk into a single plank bridge by herself. She wanted to pull everyone onto the same boat. As long as these people met her, they would all be in the same boat. The 5 families were prepared to cultivate the ability of the young people to deal with and solve problems. Therefore, the people who came were all from the younger generation. The eldest young master of the Zhao family, Zhao Zihu, was only 1 year older than Tao Yinan. The others were all around 30 years old. The youngest was only 28 years old. They were all candidates for the successors of their families in the future. They were all people who were going to take over the leadership of their fathers. It could be said that the people who came this time could directly make a movie about the successors. Except for Tao Yinan, who couldn't be the successor of the Tao family, everyone else had already arrived. It could be said that except for the Tao family's Tao Zhu, all the successors were in place. Because of their different locations, they arrived at Huaxia at different times. Zhao Zihu of the Zhao family was the first to come to Shenzhen. After he found Zhou De gave him Tao Yinan's address. Speaking of which, Zhao Zihu was really a little covetous of Tao Yinan. He couldn't help it. He liked mature women like Tao Yinan. No matter how he looked at her, he felt something. Especially Tao Yinan's charming body and flirtatious temperament. She was the type that Zhao Zihu liked. He was the first to come to Huaxia, more or less, because he wanted to see the goddess in his heart, Tao Yinan, as soon as possible. After getting the hotel address that Uncle De gave him, he directly booked a ticket to Qingdao. In order to give Tao Yinan a surprise, he specially brought a bottle of rare red wine from home. Although this wine couldn't be compared to the 1787 Chateau Lafite, it was still a good thing that money couldn't buy. Chapter 26-28. Zhao Zihu might be a special case among these people. He didn't seem to have come to Huaxia to solve problems, but more to pick up girls. When it came to dressing, Zhao Zihu was still very tasteful. He had a gentlemanly demeanor and was definitely pretentious. He was a young man with a powdered face and oily hair. He didn't look like a 37-year-old middle-aged uncle at all. When he arrived at the Intercontinental Hotel, Zhao Zihu directly went to look for people according to the room number. At first glance, the atmosphere of this hotel was quite suitable for Tao Yinan. When Zhao Zihu knocked on the door, two people suddenly walked out of the room next door. A handsome man and a beautiful woman, quite matching. He wasn't interested in the man, but he couldn't help but take a few more glances at the woman. Although she wasn't the mature type that he liked, this kind of slightly pure and cute young lady's charm was too great. The man and woman were Su Yun and Ruan Qingshuang. When Ruan Qingshuang saw Zhao Zihu standing in front of the door next door, there was a trace of panic in her heart. Fortunately, Su Yun was by her side. When Su Yun saw Zhao Zihu, he understood that Tao Yinan's plan had already begun to be implemented. After all, Zhao Zihu was the leader of the younger generation of the Zhao family. After so many years of training, he naturally had a kind of temperament. This kind of temperament was unique to a rich young master. Those subordinates who work for others wouldn't have this kind of temperament, even if they were experts. This was the combination of noble and pretentious that was unique to the second generation of a rich young master. When Zhao Zihu looked at Ruan Qingshuang, he didn't put Su Yun in his eyes at all. According to Su Yun's character, at this time, he should have slapped him and asked if he had seen enough. If he looked again, he would gouge his eyeballs out. However, now wasn't the time to do that. Su Yun wanted to give Tao Yinan space and let Tao Yinan have a good plan. At this time, if he messed up her plan, he would be looking for trouble and unhappy. After Su Yun and Ruan Qingshuang entered the elevator and left, Ruan Qingshuang breathed a sigh of relief. Zhao Zihu smacked his lips. He really didn't expect that there would be a girl with such outstanding temperament in a small island like Huaxia. It was a pity that this girl was already taken. If it wasn't for the fact that there was a man by her side, Zhao Zihu would have really stepped forward to strike up a conversation. The elevator arrived downstairs. Su Yun and Ruan Qingshuang hadn't walked far when Lin Gu and Jin Hong appeared in front of them. These two people were waiting here. Yesterday, Su Yun and Ruan Qingshuang came here to get a room. Originally, Lin Gu thought that they just came and left, just to get rid of the tail. Who would have thought that the two of them would really sleep here for the whole night? How romantic. Brother, how is the room here? It's quite awesome, right? Lin Gu said, later, you should also invite me to stay here and feel the atmosphere of a big suite. Ruan Qingshuang blushed when she heard Lin Ji's words. She glared at him and said, "Don't talk nonsense. Be careful that I don't let Feng Ye trouble you." Sister Qing Shuang, don't. My Feng Yu's idol is you. She will definitely listen to you. Lin Gu said, It's not easy for me. Just spare me. Then don't talk nonsense. Ruan Qingxuang said. Lin Gu smiled and said, Of course, it's not nonsense. I have something serious to say. Jin Hong then said, Su Yun, I just saw the people from the Zhao family come. Is it a man wearing a light gray fur collar trench coat? Su Yun said, Greasy hair and powdered face, a pretty boy. How did you know? Jin Hong was startled and said with some surprise. Su Yun smiled and said, I saw him just now. Looking at his posture, he doesn't look like a subordinate. He saw you too? Jin Hong said. He can't do anything even if he saw him. He hasn't seen me. Su Yun said, but I still don't find him pleasing to the eye. He probably doesn't find me pleasing to the eye either. Jin Hong said, if I remember correctly, his name should be Zhao Zihu. Among the younger generation of the seven-star brilliance, he and Tao Yinan could be called the golden couple. They were very capable people. No wonder he dressed so nicely. It turns out that this grandson didn't come here to do things, but more like to have sex. Lin Gu said, Interesting. Su Yun frowned and said, Look at Tao Yinan's temper. She's really not to be trifled with. I'm afraid that she won't be able to have sex and will bite. Cough. Ruan Qingxuang coughed softly, indicating that she was still here and that they should pay attention to what they said. Lin Gu stuck out his tongue and stopped talking nonsense. Jin Hong didn't know what to say and just scratched his head. Since the first one has come, it won't be long before the second one comes. Su Yun said, the rest of the people from the families probably don't want to be left alone. That's right. Jin Hong said, families like to group up. Especially in this situation, no one wants to be left alone. They must have discussed it. Once one appears, the second one will definitely appear immediately. Su Yun said, then there's no point in continuing to watch here. Knowing that one of them is going to board the same pirate ship, you don't have to continue watching here. I still want to see who will come. Jin Hong said, it's better to know more. It won't hurt us. Then you'll have to work hard. After Su Yun finished speaking, he turned his head and patted Lin Gu on the shoulder. Take care of each other. If there are any problems, call me immediately. Don't worry, brother, Lin Gu said. Su Yun and Ruan Qingxuang quickly left the Intercontinental Hotel. Although the buffet in the hotel had a variety of dishes, it was still lacking in flavor compared to the sweet foam that cost 2 yuan per bowl in the ordinary breakfast shop outside. He and Ruan Qingxuang found a breakfast shop that had been in business for many years. They each ordered a bowl of sweet foam and a small biscuit. This kind of breakfast was strong enough. Compared to the complicated food in the buffet restaurant, it was more like breakfast. In Su Yun's words, this was called breakfast. However, Ruan Qingxuang still felt that this kind of food couldn't be eaten often. It was okay to eat it occasionally. After all, it wasn't hygienic and healthy. She felt that she should cook a bowl of sea cucumber porridge or Westlake beef soup for breakfast at home and eat some light flour rolls. That was healthy. Zhao Zihu had already knocked on the door for the 3rd time, but there was still no response from the room. This really made him feel a little impatient. Tao Yinan hadn't even woken up yet. Although she heard the knocking on the door, she completely ignored it. After being angered by Su Yun yesterday, Tao Yinan almost didn't sleep the whole night. There was another reason why she couldn't sleep. She wanted to hear what Su Yun was doing next door, but what she heard made her blush. It was said that women were like wolves in their 30s and tigers in their 40s. Tao Yinan was now at the age where she was like a wolf and tiger. After coming out to Huaxia for so many days, she really lacked the nourishment that her boyfriend gave her. After hearing Su Yun's moans, it made her feel as if 10,000 little ants were crawling all over her body. That kind of uncomfortable feeling was probably something that only she could understand. Therefore, Tao Yinan almost didn't sleep the whole night. Even if she slept, she didn't sleep comfortably or soundly. Now that there was someone knocking on the door so early in the morning, she was definitely annoyed and had no intention of getting up to open the door. Zhao Zihu didn't know about these things. He took out the address again and looked at it. It was right. It was this hotel, it was this room number. What was Tao Yinan doing? Yinan, it's me. Are you in the room? Zhao Zihu knocked on the door again and shouted in a loud voice. Tao Yinan immediately sat up. Zhao Zihu's voice was like a male eunuch's. Of course, she immediately recognized it. She never thought that Zhao Zihu would actually come so soon. She thought that she would have to wait until at least tomorrow for someone to appear. Chapter 26-29. The appearance of the Zhao family made Tao Yinan feel a sense of victory. She knew that her plan had succeeded. With the Zhao family leading the way, how could the other big families not appear? The answer was obvious. It was impossible that no one would not participate in this situation. Tao Yinan quickly got up and walked to the door. She had been staying in her room thinking about countermeasures for the past few days. As soon as the door opened, Zhao Zihu gave Tao Yinan a warm hug. Zhao Zihu, who had lived in France for a long time, had a strong romantic aura. As a romantic Frenchman, of course, Zhao Zihu had to express his passion and romance. If he wasn't afraid of Tao Yinan's temper, he even hoped to give Tao Yinan a French kiss so that she would melt into his arms. You're really fast. Tao Yinan was a little surprised. Although she did not like Zhao Zihu's passion, she could not reject him directly. After all, Zhao Zihu was now an extremely useful chess piece for her. Zhao Zihu was obviously overjoyed by Tao Yinan's reaction. He did not expect Tao Yinan to not push him away. One must know that when he had shown his love for Tao Yinan did not even look at him. Because Tao Yinan was only interested in foreign men, especially those who were hairy. Thinking of this, Zhao Zihu was still a little unhappy. After all, he did not know how many Russian men had been in Tao Yinan's bed. She was the goddess in his heart. He had been dreaming for so many years but could not get the chance. But as long as he was a hairy foreigner, he could easily capture her heart. Of course. In order to see you, I had to use the fastest time. Zhao Zihu said, I asked someone to apply for a flight route to send me to Shenzhen that night. I was very worried about you. If Uncle Da had told me directly that you were on Guqin Island, I would have flown there directly. Tao Yinan invited Zhao Zihu into the room. Zhao Zihu could not wait. For a moment, Zhao Zihu, who had seen countless women, even felt his heart beating wildly. I really did not expect you to come here to accompany me, Tao Yinan said. Of course it's me. Who else could it be? In order to please Tao Yinan, Zhao Zihu smiled and took out the red wine he had prepared for Tao Yinan. This is a present I brought for you in France, Montrachet from the Romani Conti. Zhao Zihu said, this is not something you can buy on the market. I went to the Romani Conti and personally picked it out for you. Seeing this, Tao Yinan was quite happy. Zhao Zihu's attempt to cater to her interests clearly had a certain effect. Mr. Zhao, you're too polite. Tao Yinan said, then I'll be the host for today. The Chinese food in this hotel is excellent. As long as Miss Tao likes it, I am willing to do anything. Zhao Zihu's words were really straightforward. Miss Zhao, why don't we sit down and have a drink together now? Sure, Tao Yinan said. Zhao Zihu couldn't wait to open the wine. Then he found 2 wine cups and poured the wine. Drinking wine was the feeling of drinking. Their wine glasses clinked against each other, producing a crisp sound. Zhao Zihu had completely forgotten his purpose for coming here. Tao Yinan was certainly not stupid enough to bring up this topic herself. If Zhao Zihu didn't ask her, she wouldn't say it. More questions meant more danger. It is indeed good wine. Tao Yinan said, Mr. Zhao is really lucky to have the opportunity to live in France. You can find all kinds of rare wine. Ha ha, is that so? Zhao Zihu said, if Miss Tao likes it, you can come to France to find me at any time. Stay at my house. I have a lot of wine in my cellar. How can I accept that? Tao Yinan said, Mr. Zhao is too polite. Inan. I won't call you Miss Tao. You don't have to call me Mr. Zhao. It's too formal. Zhao Zihu said, you can just call me Zihu. There's no need for us to be so formal. Tao Inan smiled slightly. Mr. Zhao, you came here to represent the Zhao family. How can I call you by your name? Inan, I really don't think there's a need for us to be so distant. Zhao Zihu continued to fight for it. Our relationship can go further. How do you want to go further? Tao Inan still had a smile on her face. Is our relationship not close enough? What was she thinking in her heart? What she was thinking was that they were already grasshoppers on the same rope. Was this relationship not close enough? Zhao Zihu was a little emotional when he heard this. Of course we are close, but there is always a layer of estrangement. Don't you think so? No, I think our relationship is quite good. There is no estrangement. Tao Inan said, what do you mean by estrangement? I mean... Zhao Zihu swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Between you and me, when can we be like a pair of lovers, like the best relationship between us? Inan, I will care about you more than any of your boyfriends. Tao Inan was stunned. She didn't expect Zhao Zihu to be so straightforward. You know, Inan, those people around you, they all have a strong purpose. Zhao Zihu said. Tao Inan sneered in her heart. Don't you, Zhao Zihu, have any purpose? Moreover, Zhao Zihu had already married and had children. His children could go out by themselves. Now, he actually had the face to stand in front of her and say these things. Mr. Zhao, don't forget that you are already a person with a family. Tao Inan said, isn't it inappropriate for you to say these things to me now? Inan, my marriage is not love at all. You and I are the same kind of people. You should know that our marriage is a bargaining chip. Zhao Zihu said. I am not the same kind of person as you. I will not let my marriage become a bargaining chip. Tao Inan said, I pursue love. Zhao Zihu said, what I pursue is also love, what I pursue is you. Why did I appear here? It is because I also want to pursue my own love. No, you pursue a kind of desire. Desire and love are two different things. Tao Inan said, people who will use their marriage as a bargaining chip are all pursuing a kind of desire, not love. Zhao Zihu was startled for a moment. Then what will you do to give me a chance? Mr. Zhao, it doesn't seem appropriate for us to talk about this right now. Tao Inan said, I'd better invite you to eat something together. It's still early for lunch. Zhao Zihu said. Then let's eat breakfast. Tao Inan said. But I'm not hungry. Zhao Zihu said. He wanted to settle the things he wanted to settle here. Otherwise, once the people from the other families arrived, he wouldn't have a chance. Tao Inan insisted, but I'm hungry. Then call room service and have them deliver it. Zhao Zihu said. Recently, Tao Inan had been ordering room service to deliver food, but she knew that it was safer to leave her room. She understood what Zhao Zihu was thinking. She knew that there was some kind of bug in his brain. The room service has been stopped for the past few days. Tao Inan said, the hotel has a Chinese restaurant and a Western restaurant. We don't need to go far. There is no room service in a 5-star hotel? Zhao Zihu was startled. A second-tier city in Huaxia shouldn't be so backward, right? I remember that the hotels I stayed in Beijing and Xinjiang have room service. Tao Inan smiled bitterly. It's only temporary. Let's go. I'm really hungry. Chapter 26:30. Zhao Zihu couldn't think of any other reason to talk nonsense, so he could only give up. All right, I'll go with you. From the beginning to the end, Zhao Zihu didn't ask anything about the Zhang family. It was as if he wasn't interested in them at all. He was only thinking about how to deal with Tao Inan. To Zhao Zihu, he came to Guqin Island to seek the feeling of stealing someone. He didn't want to provoke the Jiang family at all. Whether the Jiang family lived or died had nothing to do with him. What the Tao family did also had nothing to do with him. Whether they offended the Empress or not had nothing to do with him. The sumptuous breakfast couldn't offset the desire in Zhao Zihu's heart. He continued to speak frankly to Tao Yinan. Tao Yinan couldn't completely reject Zhao Zihu. After all, he was still a very useful chess piece to her. When Tao Ruhu and Tao Qianni learned of Zhao Zihu's arrival, they felt as if they had swallowed a calming pill. However, there was one thing that confused them. Zhao Zihu actually came alone. He didn't have anyone accompanying him, let alone someone to protect him. Even though Zhao Zihu had extraordinary strength, it was too bold of him to come alone. They really couldn't believe that the Zhao family would be so relaxed. In order to prevent Zhao Zihu from further harassing her, Tao Yinan asked Tao Ruhu and Tao Qianni to accompany her. Even though Zhao Zihu's heart was burning, he had no other choice. Even though Zhao Zihu was a little unhappy, he had no other choice. He could only put on a fake smile and endure at the side. Mr. Zhao, you are really too bold to come alone. Tao Ruhu knew that this was the time to flatter Zhao Zihu so that he would feel comfortable. Zhao Zihu smiled. Of course, I know about the disturbance and danger in Huaxia. I won't do such a dangerous thing. Of course, the Zhao family will arrange for people to protect me, but I don't want people to always be by my side. So, they are all in the dark. Unless I'm in danger, they won't appear. Tao Yinan was slightly surprised. Tao Ruhu and Tao Qianni also realized that Zhao Zihu not only had people by his side, but they were also experts among experts. At least for now, they didn't detect any experts around. On the other hand, Zhao Zihu didn't seem to have any intention of boasting. As expected of Mr. Zhao. It seems that the Zhao family will be led by you in the future, Tao Yinan said. I hope we can cooperate better in the future. Yinan. Speaking of which, I have something I want to talk to you about alone. Do you think the two of them? Zhao Zihu said as he glanced at the two of them. Tao Yinan said without hesitation, Mr. Zhao, you can speak your mind. They are my people. There is no need to worry. But Zhao Zihu was still hesitant. No buts. If Mr. Zhao finds it inconvenient to say it, then there's no need to say it. Tao Yinan said, I have 100% trust in my people. If I can't give them this trust, then I don't need to keep them by my side. Zhao Zihu laughed dryly and nodded. That's true. Then I might as well say it directly. I'd like to hear the details, Tao Yinan said. She had to calm Zhao Zihu down before the other families arrived. Zhao Zihu took a deep breath. Yinan, with your ability, you are completely above Tao Zhu. But because Tao Zhu is a man, he can be valued more than you. Mr. Zhao, if you want to talk about my brother, I'm afraid I can't continue this topic with you, Tao Yinan said lightly. This didn't mean that she wanted to protect Tao Zhu. She knew very well what Tao Zhu meant to her. It was just that Tao Yinan didn't want to talk about her family's situation in front of outsiders. This was a taboo. No matter how serious the family's internal conflicts were, they had to be united to prevent outsiders from taking advantage of them. Yinan, I'm saying this for your own good, Zhao Zihu said. Zhao Zihu said, you can protect the clay figurine, but the clay figurine is very guarded against you. That's his personal problem. Tao Yinan said, I have nothing to say about this. I hope that there is no misunderstanding between me and my family. Zhao Zihu was a little anxious. This isn't a misunderstanding. Don't you think he has been trying to weaken you? Mr. Zhao, I said that I won't continue the topic about my brother, Tao Yinan said. Okay. If you don't want to say it, then don't say it. But I have to remind you. Zhao Zihu said, I just don't want you to be hurt. No one will hurt me, especially my family. Tao Yinan said, if Mr. Zhao has nothing else, I can ask my people to get you a room. You are tired from the journey. You should have a good rest. Zhao Zihu refused at once. I have been resting on the plane. I don't need to rest at all now. Now Zhao Zihu was fantasizing that when he got a room, there would be no room left. Then he would have a reason to be thick-skinned and stay here for a night. Zhao Zihu was very clear that the people of the other families would soon know that he had arrived in Huaxia. They would all arrive tomorrow. So tonight was the best night for Zhao Zihu to take advantage of. Then I will ask them to take you around Qingdao. After all, it is a well-known seaside city, Tao Yinan said. Zhao Zihu waved his hand. I have no interest in this place. Yinan, how can I explain it to you so that you will understand? The Tao family's matter will be solved by the Tao family. Tao Yinan smiled slightly. Thank you for your concern, Mr. Zhao. Really, I appreciate your concern. Yinan, since you don't believe me, then I will say it directly. Zhao Zihu said, just before we started to besiege the Jiang family, I participated in a drinking party with 6 people. Tao Yinan was startled. She didn't need to think too much to guess that these 6 people must be Tao Zhu, Zhao Zihu, Qian Zhang from the Qian family, Sun Haoming from the Sun family, Li Zhang from the Li family, and Zhou Xuanqing from the Zhou family. The 6 of them had long been recognized as the future successors of the 6 great clans, so it was very normal for them to have this kind of small gathering. I believe you can guess who was in the drinking party even if I don't say it, Zhao Zihu said. Zhao Zihu said, at that time, Tao Zhu drank a lot. He said something that I remember very clearly. Although Tao Yinan didn't want to talk about her family matters with Zhao Zihu, she did feel curious now that things had come to this. What did he say? Tao Yinan said indifferently. He deliberately made himself look very relaxed. Zhao Zihu said very seriously, he said that in the Tao family, there is only one person who can make him feel a sense of crisis, and that is you, Yinan. Tao Yinan snorted coldly in her heart. Other than her, Tao Zhu indeed wouldn't feel any sense of crisis for anyone else. This doesn't mean anything. Tao Yinan smiled slightly. Although she also minded this in her heart, there were some things that she had to pretend to be indifferent to even if she minded it. I don't quite understand what is between the two of you, Zhao Zihu said, but I heard something in Tao Zhu's tone that wasn't friendly at all. Tao Yinan said, he is that kind of person. Yinan. Zhao Zihu said, I am someone who really wants to help you. Is that so? Well, then don't continue to talk about this topic with me. Consider it as you helping me. Tao Yinan smiled slightly. Mr. Zhao, I think you really need to rest. Zhao Zihu made up his mind. I won't leave. I have to explain some things to you clearly and let you know that this sense of crisis is not a joke. Tao Yinan was also curious in her heart, but she couldn't say it out loud. Since Zhao Zihu insisted on saying it, then she couldn't do anything about it. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.